I'd give the bus driver $100. I'd say, take a left here. We're going to a park, and I just ground balls,
and rocket them at him, right? Just
You thought this was a field trip?
Swing.
We're on a field.
It's a field.
KFC Radio is sponsored by Jackpocket. Jackpocket, doing it all myself. Got the I even got the Mets hat. I'll go full Kevin. Jackpocket, you know what it is. It is the #1 lottery app on your phone. It is. I gotta take the glasses off. Yeah, I'm going through everything Kevin has to go through. It's on your phone. It makes it very simple, very easy to get lottery tickets instead of rushing out of the house when you hear they have a big number like my parents always did. You can just get it right on your phone. Right here on Jackpocket, let's see, Mega Millions, $489 million. We will get that today. Play now. Quick picks. Place order. Confirm. Done. That was how quick I just almost won. We'll see. $540 million. They have all kinds of games. They have Powerball. They have Mega Millions. Anything on the other official state lottery games, it's all right on the app. New customers, if you use code KFC, you will get your first ticket for free. Free chance at $550 million, $490 million, whatever one I just picked in. They've given out $540 million in prizes. That's already been paid out. Currently, it is $490 million. Again, new customers use code KFC. You get your first ticket for free. It is a free chance at a new life. That's what we're dealing with here, folks. Download Jackpocket today. Use code KFC. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app and official partner of Barstool Sports.
Just
Where
let
were
me
you,
do my stand-up.
Joey and Louie doing
Out
stand-up?
at a
On
fucking
Wednesday night
100-seat place in New Jersey.
When was this?
Last night.
Oh shit! I thought we were like storytelling.
A
Like,
100-seat place. So those people in the front, everybody paid $25 to get in.
yeah, got the show of a lifetime.
Yeah, everybody was this close to those two fucking monsters.
3 fucking monsters.
Well, dude, it's not even like it. And that's what last night I figured out. Look, man, there's a bunch of us who are in this group. And some people are going to think this person's funnier, and some people are going to, it just depends on the style. And some people are going to like this show more and this show more. But we're all in the same bubble, right? Joey's out here. Yeah. You know where he is? To me, he's Patrice O'Neal. He's old Cat Williams. Yeah. That type of laughter.
Yeah, I believe that. I'm not actually surprised by that. I mean, I think he is so
unique,
singularly unique. Yeah,
and when he gets angry, and the veins start
Cocksucker!
Yeah, dude. When the veins.
I mean, when you have story like. Dude can tell a story about like kidnapping people and it's funny.
Hilarious.
It's like this is objectively horrible, but like
it is horrible. He went to jail for it.
But he cops to it. Like that's the thing too. Like he knows it and he's like a reformed or whatever you want to call it. Like but he didn't lose his edge or his humor. It's like I'm a good person, but he's actually the definition of all this bullshit that's gone on for the last like 15 years, 10 years is like I'm not a bad person. You know what I mean?
I've always referred to him as a moral criminal. Yeah. He really does. He has a line.
He's a code. It's like Dexter being a fucking serial killer. You know, it's like, but he does it the good way.
He would so for real, this is why I've been calling him a moral criminal forever. He would so when I was single and raising the 3 kids and I had zero money.
Literally used to put him on leashes.
If I had $40 or $20 on the counter, he would take it. But then he would be like, "Hey, let me treat you to lunch." I
want the money back.
I'd be like, "Are you?" He'd be like, "You get it next time." I'm like, "I think I got it this time too." Man. I think I got it both times technically. But like I would.
Wait, by the way, was that like a pop in or that was the schedule? Like
schedule.
Wow, fuck.
So there's a place that's called the Dojo of Comedy. In this whatever they told me the name of the town in Jersey 30 times. I'm like, I'm never gonna remember this fucking place.
Dojo of Comedy in Jersey.
100 seats, and he goes there once a month. Louis did 45 last night, and I think did an hour of his new stuff.
No way.
And by the way, Louis, and I
didn't know he was out there like that,
dude. And I was I'm a bit of I love comedy. I fucking love it. I love watching other people. I didn't watch Louis for a long time because I know that we both talked about kids and our kids, and I never wanted to be like, oh, I can't talk about that now because Louis talked about it
first or whatever. Yeah.
because we all have different takes on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I watched him last night, and he had his notebook out, and he was writing his set list with his hand, and I was like, I'm so glad to see that other people still do that. Like, that's how I remember things, too, and I am so much funnier for stand-up when I write with my hand. If I'm writing...
You do the same thing.
Yeah, if I'm writing, like when I wrote my book, it was all type because I type different than more. I write more colloquially in my hand, and when I'm on a computer,
You make it like
it's more like a book. Or article.
like
I'm
your
using different words.
vocabulary.
Yeah. I'm like, how do you say this smarter?
I got that Google Word thesaurus going a lot.
Yeah,
Another tab.
I don't have that here.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna say stupid because that's the word I know. Yeah, right. But
I also like when I go to shows, obviously, and I know the difference between being in a club versus touring your hour. I like watching them like work, watching like a comedian like go back to his book and make a little note.
I'd rather a workout night than like a clean night.
But you guys are in the minority, I would tell you.
Really?
I have, because when I bring my stuff on stage, I will hear people like get comments. You had to bring a notebook. Aren't you professional?
Those are the people who are like, I paid money and I deserve to see like a perfect show or whatever. It's like,
I makes me laugh when somebody's like, I heard this story on the podcast. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. Yeah. That's sometimes when I think of jokes.
Also,
that's a writing session that we're putting out.
Yes.
Fuck yeah,
right.
dude.
Right. We were actually just talking about it because he's starting to do some stand up with the sketch. They have a sketch show and they're doing a tour and they do some stand up. And like there are times on the podcast I hear him just off the top say something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would be funny if you like flesh that out. And if we had the means or the time or the ability to like go back through thousands of episodes, like there's probably endless amounts of material that we just blasted off into the abyss. Literally, when we finish the podcast, they'll be like, what clips do you want or what did you talk about? Like, I don't know. I don't remember.
You almost forget
I said
what
it a
you
minute
said.
ago.
Yeah.
A minute ago. Let alone
Yeah.
what we were saying in the beginning, where like we didn't even like. I just wish I had the foresight to like write all those down or remember all those, because those are the equivalent for us of like an open mic night. But you guys were like, I'm going to do this open mic thing and keep track of it and know it, and where we were just like write a million blogs or blast off a million podcasts, and it's like that was all funny shit, but we just it's gone.
I've said this before, but it's like the standard that people hold comedians to is so different than almost every other art form. You don't go to a Journey concert and be like, heard Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah, right.
What else you got?
Right.
As a matter of fact, if you don't hear Don't Stop Believing, but if you hear a snippet, like somebody, Rogan's last special, a lot of people were getting on him because that's a joke he told on a podcast. Or that's a joke 4 years ago.
Right.
Well, there was COVID and nobody put out any material, and he still had a joke he wanted to
also,
use.
there are
and
just
what
like
the
stories
fuck?
and shit that like, you'll be like, yo, tell them that story about that time, and it's like I've told the story 100 times, and I'm gonna tell it again, and people are gonna enjoy it.
I just started figuring this out, so maybe my most viewed, listened to, requested story is a story about me pulling a prank on my buddy. I throw him a bachelor party, and instead of a stripper, I hire a big woman to come beat him up.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's my right. But for a long time, people were like, after the shows, they were like, "Oh, I wish you had told that story."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I don't tell that anymore." And then I went to see Bert.
I was just gonna say, I mean, they want that,
dude. It was almost part of it, like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes, you can repeat it with him.
They wanted it so, and I was like, "Who the fuck am I?" They're paying the ticket.
Yep.
I know, I don't want to go so far like I'm an artist, I don't repeat.
Yeah.
Also, fuck me. Like these are the people that are coming to my show. They're my fans. I'm gonna do. When I come back to cities, I do 45 to 50 minutes of new material every year, regardless. Well, you want to stick around to the end and listen to that story?
classics.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
like
fucking
you're at a concert
dude.
and they show the
best
mic.
time to tell a story when someone else sets you up as like, dude, you gotta tell the story.
Then
You're like,
you have free reign.
all
It wasn't
right.
my idea. Twist my arm.
If you went to see Bon Jovi and he was like, "I'm not playing Living on a
Right,
Prayer," I'd be like,
right.
"Fuck you,
Yes,
you're not.
yes,
I'm not
same
here
shit.
for your new
when,
stuff."
When they can put the, I would want it to be like you can put the mic out and they will sing the song.
Dude.
They will say the joke with you. The
How
punchline
flattering
with you.
is that?
Yeah.
But by the way, I get why, and I get it why people are like, I want to do my old stuff. I get it. But if you put
by
it
the way,
at
you
the
also
end,
have to have really good old stuff.
Yes,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah.
If you're repeating just like blah, but when you have a heavy hitter, big beautiful woman beating up on your buddy, like then you
Amazing.
tell it again.
But if you went to see Dice, would you like to hear a couple nursery rhymes?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean that's what.
Wouldn't you want to
Yeah.
hear? And you know the punchline that's coming, and it doesn't
Well,
matter.
you know what though? As you saying this, I'm just thinking we were just having this discussion the other day about when the Red Sox play Sweet Caroline when they're down like 11-0. But it's like he was saying, some dude spent like his paycheck to get here, and they want to fucking sing Sweet Caroline at
The
Fenway.
kids are there.
The kids are there.
Right.
It's like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. They don't even know what the score is.
Yeah.
And I never thought about that until I started having kids and shit. It was like you just want the whole experience, whether
Yep.
they win or lose. And as like a business and an entity, they got to do all that. But when you're the diehard fan, which is probably the equivalent of like a comedy nerd who like watches all the specials and knows all your material, you're like, turn this off. The bases are loaded and we're about to fucking lose to the Yankees, whatever. And it's like, yeah, but you're the dork. You're the annoying asshole.
It's true. Like, there's got to be a blend. You
I
gotta
like
be
the
able
way
to find a
Bargatze
blend.
did it on the Tennessee Kid, where he had like the 3 updates, where
Yeah.
it was what was it? Iced coffee, no milk.
Yeah.
Iced coffee with milk. It was the not Zoarium, but whatever. He had like 3 little updates, but he like retold the story to set it up for the new updates. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a perfect world of having. But
New
you
material,
can't force an update on your old stories.
That's
There's
what
no-
Bert did. When I saw him last, and I didn't watch Bert for a while either. I tried not to watch anybody that had kids and told kid stories because I was like, I don't want to anyone to say.
Parents have the same.
That's
you know
what I'm
I mean?
saying. But I
Right,
don't
but
want
like-
it to be like, oh, I can't tell that story.
Yeah,
Oh,
it would
you
turn
would-
you off to doing it.
I
okay,
can't. I
okay.
want to
Yeah,
still
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like, oh, this was it because
it.
did
Yeah.
I think of it on my own,
Yeah.
or did I think of it because
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And so I watched Bert, and I heard the machine story, but what he would do is he would depart from the story and do a little offshoot and tell a new joke in the story and come
Right.
back to
Yeah.
it.
Right. That's the
I'm
best.
like, this is the right way to do
Right.
it.
Sure.
But people want it. And like, I think, so I've started doing that on my late shows.
Yeah.
Which is just a late show. If you want to stick around
Bro,
and hear
I-
the story at the end, I'm going to tell it.
So you like end the show basically, and then you're like, I'm gonna stick around and do a couple more. You guys can leave if you want.
This is
but-
the end of the new material.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah,
you want to
right.
hear,
Okay, yeah,
if
yeah.
you want to hear this
You let 'em
story,
know.
if you came for this story,
It's
I'm
coming,
gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to you. But you're gonna
I'll
have
be
to
your
wait till the
dancing
end.
monkey, baby.
Yeah, dude. I'll fucking dance.
But yo,
for
there are
sure.
just no rules. There are no rules anymore. I
No.
don't think. I mean, I feel like you guys, like in comedy, you almost do still follow like a rules and a code. But like, if you didn't want to, it's like when I hear about like someone who's like a non-comic who is now like working in clubs and shit, and people are mad about it or whatever. It's like if I can rent that space or I can fill those seats. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm going to tell it this way. I'm going to do this amount of time or that amount of time. Or I'm going to use a fucking screen or, music,
Dude.
whatever, man.
My job, and this has been a revelation in the last 5 years for me. Because I used to care so much about what other comics, if they were going to come into the room and watch my set.
Yeah.
My job is to entertain the people who bought the tickets to the show.
Yeah.
And then also to be authentic to who I am. And so I lend myself. I like to have fun. I like the people in front of me to have fun. I'm going to make people uncomfortable sometimes, but in a different way than, say, Hinchcliffe makes people uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
And that one is not
Puerto Ricans.
Yeah. One is not better or worse, right? But who are you standing in front of?
Yeah,
And
right.
so I know who's coming to see me. Right?
Also, I mean, I think about. I guess that's why sometimes someone like Attell gets like so much respect because it's like he's a comics comic. He makes the comics laugh. But I know for myself, like I know there are tremendously talented and funny people here. I barely watch or consume any of their content because it's like you're my coworker, and like you said, I don't want to repeat. And like, there's a million reasons why someone who's a contemporary or a competitor or a coworker or whatever might not laugh at your shit or want to consume your shit, as opposed to the people who you're actually going after.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if I was trying to make Dave Portnoy laugh, I'd be out of business.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
he ain't ever gonna laugh at me. But you know, the people who like me like me. You know
Are
what I
you
mean?
playing to the back of the room?
Right.
Because if you're playing to the back of the room, that's not a recipe for success.
Right.
Look, dude, I will do an hour of stand up. And I look outside of I'm a storyteller.
Yeah.
And outside of, I would say, Joey Diaz, Ron White, I'm not going to say I'm better than everybody. I'm also not going to say anyone's better than me.
Yeah.
We're all in the same. It just depends on what style you like.
Yep.
I put those two dudes in a separate. The way Ron does it is so unique and so slow.
The voice and everything.
It's like and Joey is Joey.
When we went to Austin for like Bert and Tom's like Porosos debut, and Ron White came, and that was our first time ever, my first time ever being in the room with Ron White. He didn't tell jokes or anything, but it was like you could tell every other comic looked at him differently.
As soon as he starts talking, and when he's on stage, it's Southern Cosby. Pre-rape, or probably during rape, but there's no pre-rape, right? It's all kind of continuous rape. But
pre-rape with Cosby's just getting cocktails.
that was his first
Meeting
album.
him at the
Bill
bar.
Cosby pre-rape first album. But
He raped for so long. Dude, that's actually one of my favorite bits ever. The Chappelle bit about that. Do you know that? When he first came back, Chappelle had I want to say maybe 12 minutes, 15 minutes. He's giving a history lesson. He's like, he started in like the civil rights movement or whatever it was through like contemporary history. And you're kind of like, you're just giving Chappelle the benefit of the doubt at that point because he's like giving a history lesson, like, whatever. And he's like, and that whole time, Bill Cosby was raping people. And I was like, oh my God, the payoff was incredible. Decades of rape.
What's crazy about him to me is that we will give him 5 minutes of silence. And when I mean silence, of him talking without jokes.
Right.
Because we all know,
something's coming.
that we don't see coming.
Right.
You didn't see that. Nobody.
I was almost interested. I was like, wow, I'm learning about like the Black Panthers and like, all this shit. But then bam,
you're like, that whole thing was one setup for a Bill Cosby joke?
Yeah.
And you know how much confidence you have to have in your one punchline?
That it's going to work?
That you're giving people.
Because then you just wasted like, a quarter of your show.
Fucking crazy, dude.
Anyway, what were you saying? You were saying somebody is Cosby. I totally interrupted you there.
Ron White.
Ron White, right.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Right.
Like, so, but I don't even remember what I was talking about. but those guys, dude, like, as far as storytelling goes, there's so many of us who are doing it now.
Right. But that's like, it's, your story. Like, the best part about that is there's not going to be, I guess maybe with kids, I understand your point. But for the most part, there's no stealing jokes. There's no parallel thinking. There's like, this is what fucking happened to me.
It's why I started steering away from jokes and topical stuff, because somebody else somewhere is writing that joke.
Right.
Unless you're Mitch Hedberg and your joke is so far off the wall
that nobody could even conceive it.
No, dude. But how many people have told you want to build a wall to Mexico? Who do you think's building the wall?
Yeah. Right.
From
It's
Mexico,
been done.
right?
Yeah.
But everybody thinks of it as like, well, I thought of that.
Right.
And they did.
Yeah. They're not wrong.
They did. But it's not
There's
too
just
far to
so
go
many
for that
people.
joke, right?
It's like Twitter now. If you don't like, not even now because I don't use it like I used to, but like Twitter had a period where it was like, if I am not up on it at all times, if I'm not checking it every second, like if I'm 5 minutes later, I'm late. Like someone has made the joke happen.
Okay, so I'll give you a good example. One of the last jokes I told, it was a joke. Basically, it was, my wife and I were talking about who are, your, what do you call it? When your hall pass.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's your hall pass? And she said, Brad Pitt. And I was like, that's a great choice. And she said, who's yours? I said, Janet, who lives next door.
Yeah. I can fuck mine.
Right.
You can fuck yours.
Yeah, I got a shot. Let's be realistic, right?
That's great.
And I got somebody sent out, Patrice told, you stealing a Patrice joke. I'm like, I never heard it. Somebody else sent out, Larry the Cable Guy told that joke. I'm like, This is
these
why
are things
I
that
can't,
guys think about.
Yeah.
Like these are jokes that dudes come up with. Like,
which is why I never watched Bert or Louie.
Right.
Because I never wanted even a seed in my head. Did I think of that?
right.
Or was that already in my head?
Right,
And
because
that's
those
how
guys-
that joke came out.
Yeah.
Sure.
So for me, it was not ever worth it.
I-
And going back and listening to old Louis C.K. is like fucking amazing. I'm like, have you heard of this guy? He's fucking great. Holy shit.
Dude, I remember being on like a road trip with my dad once. It must have been a hockey road trip. And I was listening to I'm so bad with the names of comedy albums, but he has the bit about like arguing with his kids about like how they have to eat. He's like, you have to eat. The government knows I have you. Like, if I die, like, he has like, he's like,
That's a great one.
he's like, I have your papers. Like, if you don't, like, they're gonna find out.
It's like I'm gonna get in trouble. Not that my kids are gonna be fucking malnourished and dead. I'm gonna get in trouble.
And dude, we were in absolute. And like I never seen my dad laugh like that. Like we were in fucking tears. And then he gets to a bit where he's like, because then he Louis it, and then he goes like one step too far, which where I think it's funny, and then so my dad stops laughing. But he's talking about like, he wasn't holding his kids down, but he was chewing up food and blowing it in their assholes with a straw. And my dad was like, all right, what are we listening to now? If you're not gonna eat, I'll make you eat. Game time. You know we love live events. You know we love being in the building, whether it's a concert, a game, a comedy show. We always use Game Time. I use it this weekend. I went to Wicked, the play, not the movie. I forget what I was going to say. But Game Time is constantly evolving, constantly changing, constantly making things better. Right now, they have the Game Time Picks filters. It filters out the fluff to show you incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Like I said, I was looking at Wicked the other day. Let's see what else is in town for Game Time right now. I did Army Notre Dame this weekend at Yankee Stadium. Rams are playing the Jets. You can probably skip that one. Saints playing the Giants. You can probably skip that one. Blues at Rangers. You can probably skip that one if we're being honest. Everyone's kind of falling apart. Red Islanders. You can probably skip that one. There's a lot of good stuff to see, okay? Whether or not. Tate McRae. Bang. There you go. Nope. That's in September of 2025. I don't know why it's on top of the app. Must have just gone on sale. Whatever. There's always good stuff to see. And you can find that on the Game Time app. All you have to do is pull up your chosen event, turn on the GT Pick setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? I'm going to go get those Islanders tickets right now. No, I'm not. That's a lie. Download the Game Time app today and use code KFC to easily score great deals with the new Game Time Picks. What time is it? Game Time. Who?
Yeah. But that's last night for me. It's very rare
Chewed up. It might be chewed up.
that I will sit in a room and watch other comics and be inspired.
Yeah. At this point in your career, at least, right? Like,
But it's what I love about stand-up so much. And I am a comedy nerd, dude. I love comics. I live in Vegas now. I would say the thing that I miss the most is sitting in a green room and chopping it up with people. Mm-hmm. That energy of sitting in a room with comics is a ton of fun. But watching Joey and Louie last night, it's still for me. I'm like, these guys really, and watching Louis work shit out, and same with Joe. Joe's just trying, but their process and like how meticulous Louis was with his notes and all that shit. I'm like, oh, this is still what it takes.
I thought he was. I kind of was under the impression when he did the Garden that he was gonna like disappear for a while. I guess it has been a while, but I thought it was gonna be like, we'll see Louis in like 10 years.
He's so
he's
prolific
out
with his
there. He just keeps going,
writing.
man.
It's fucking crazy.
It's funny you say the like your favorite part of comedy, and what I feel like a lot of comedians say is it's the green room.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's just the locker room. But I think not a lot of comics played sports.
It's the camaraderie.
Yeah, that's actually. I feel like there's a couple sports comics, but for the most part, it's like MMA. But it's very rare. It's you, Soder, Shane.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you're not gonna. Sam with the Knicks. I guess it's more and more. But there was a time where we would be interviewing guys, and like you bring up sports, and it's like.
I do remember. I remember doing a sports radio show. I forget where I was. Chicago maybe. and this guy was asking me like headline questions.
Yeah.
And I answered him. We were talking about the Red Sox, and I answered him, and I talked about basically everybody who was in their bullpen at the time.
Yeah.
And he was like,
whoa.
"Oh, okay, so
Yes.
you know
Yes.
sports,
Right,
right?
right,
Dude,
right.
I'm from Boston.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. This
Right.
is if I
But
didn't,
I
I
also
would have
can
had to sleep
understand.
outside.
Boston is a little different, but I can
Boston,
understand
New
if
York,
you're-
Philly.
Yeah, that northeast area. But like, if you are up on stage every night and you're like kind of you're artsy nerds writing fucking little poems, basically. You
There's
know,
no doubt.
So like, it doesn't makes sense in that regard. But also, sometimes I'm like, you're like a dude, right? Like
Most stand-ups though weren't the quarterback on the football team.
right.
You're not looking at a bunch of physiques up there like, I bet you that guy can bench 350. That probably not. You're like, he ate 2,500 milligrams of weed. Looks like that guy. That's the difference for sure. Not a lot of athletic physiques walking on
It
stage
is
at the
like
club.
if you think about it, like we're all just looking for our locker room, whether or not you can play sports or not. Like that's
How
what
poetic
like,
is that?
gaming
Just looking
is,
for a locker room.
right?
Yeah,
It is.
But honestly, because you get a locker room when you're a kid, like you're given it, you're allowed to play sports. You're supposed to play sports. You do that, and then when you're an adult, like that goes away because unless you're a professional athlete, it's gone. And then it's like, well, where's my locker room?
But you wonder why.
That's like a Corona ad. Find your locker room.
Find your locker room. It's a great T-shirt. You wonder why you people like everyone's so tribal. We've always been tribal. We're always looking for that community of like-minded people.
Yeah.
Right.
That's who
Right.
I like to chop it up with. Whatever
That's
locker room
why
it is.
The internet is the devil because it lets people into
Yes.
it's like you're not supposed to be here.
You didn't have to do anything to earn your way into my locker room.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
created a screen name, and I'm like, I guess this guy's in my locker room.
Now you join,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, no, you weren't invited. You're not good enough. You're not funny enough.
Which also
and you're
sounds-
killing the vibe.
Yeah, you're in the
coming
locker room
here and you're
touching
telling-
everyone's dick,
Yeah.
which is not good.
Yeah, we're like, listen, we're doing weird stuff with our dicks, but you're taking it too far. The locker room's fun because we do weird stuff with our dicks, but you, no.
Yeah, we don't touch it reverse like that. That's weird shit.
Yeah, and then you're telling all our locker room secrets and touching, fuck out of here.
It sounds gatekeeping to be like the internet lets anyone into your locker, but I feel like it's also like human nature. You want to earn it. You want to have like something to say, like I deserve to be here.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
on the internet, I don't think you get it as much as in a comedy locker room. I mean, I feel like I get it more than I ever have in a long time now with the podcast, with Out of Order, with like other shit. Like it's all real life. Like, oh, I earned it.
You've spoken to enough comics who have sat here where you're like, oh, I kind of get this community.
Yeah.
But to just pop somebody in, look, I wrote on TV shows for many years. And so a writer's room, for somebody who's never sat in a writer's room,
I don't think I could do that.
is fucking the things that are said in a writer's room. You know what, Chelsea, lately, on one writer's room day, we Googled, because Chewy was a midget, we Googled life expectancy of a midget for a long time and then called him in. We were like, hey, you're doing pretty good, dude.
You're on borrowed time.
Yeah, dude, you're doing great, man. You're really doing great. But there was no
limit, yeah.
there was no limit. I wiped my nuts on this dude's bagel one day. And Chelsea was like, before you do that, let's get the film crew in here. So we filmed it and put it on the show. And she thought it was just the funniest thing. So for the next month or so, she would be like, hey, go put your balls on. And we would just, but anywhere outside of a writer's room, people are like, hey, you can't put your balls on other people's stuff.
It's the people you trust, and it's people like you have more leeway than anyone else in my life will.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to be sure that you have to be positive you have that leeway. But once you have it, you have it.
There are things that
It's like grabbing your girlfriend's
can't-
ass. Like you're like, I can't grab a random girl's ass. I got this leeway with her. She's
Yeah.
letting me do it.
That's one of my favorite. There was a period of time where, in the beginning of Barstool, the commenters were really funny people. Before commenters just became like shitbags who just suck, and they were all. I was probably 25 or 6 when I started. And it was just all what I envisioned to be 40, 50-year-old guys who just fucking hate their wives and just had a locker room. It was that was their locker room. And I just remember one of them being it was just such a profound but simple thing. He was just isn't it crazy that once you have a girlfriend, you just can touch their tits and like grab their ass and stuff. But like if you did that to a regular girl, like you're in trouble. But she just lets you do it because you have some sort of like social contract. However you worded it, I was like, that is just so true. It's like I pick you. And you have to let me touch your ass.
I never thought of it like that before, but it is true.
I mean, like you know, it's just.
I do think my wife that would get me thrown in jail for sure.
But we just have this unspoken bond. We're like, yo, you get to do it.
See that? Guess what I get to do?
I'm gonna be touching things and exploring holes, and that's just it. But you wouldn't flinch. You walk by your girl in the kitchen, you just smack her ass, and it's like nobody flinches on either side. You do that in
well,
you know in a bar. It's like you do that to the wrong person, you're going to jail.
It is so crazy, but it all goes back to like the idea of the locker room and like-minded people, and you're allowed to get away with what the community says is okay in those.
But that's why when the outsiders come in, it's like, hey,
it's weird.
You don't know the rules. Like, you're not playing by the rules. We're playing by the rules.
That's right. When someone comes in and is like, that's not appropriate. Well, maybe not in your kitchen.
Yeah, right.
It's playing basketball with hockey players.
Yeah.
They don't follow the rules. They just start playing hockey. We're playing basketball. Stop fucking checking me. Stop pulling me down. You're grabbing me. You're ruining the game. That's the internet.
You're playing Knicks basketball. Stop.
Yeah, right.
It's so funny
We're
how
playing Warriors basketball here. We're shooting. We're just playing fun. You're playing 90s Knicks. Stop it.
By the way, I couldn't wait to see you. Just to ask you about the Jets.
Josh hates the Jets, like loves the Jets being bad. Soder said the same thing yesterday. There's something about
it's not the Jets, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, but there's also Aaron. There's a part of me that's like relieved that he sucks because we talked about it forever, and especially him as a Brady guy. Like,
thank you.
The words that got thrown around with Aaron Rodgers, it's like. If you want to say that Aaron Rodgers has like physically the best arm when it comes to throwing a ball,
angles, all that stuff,
like that
accuracy,
that's like
1/10 of the quarterback position,
right?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like having a nice swing in baseball. Like, it doesn't matter if it's
Willie
pretty or
Bo
not.
Pena is the greatest hitter of all time.
Right. He had a great swing.
I did love
like,
watching him hit a ball, dude.
He would hit the fucking
He's going to put a dent in the monster.
Yeah, through the wall.
You would see him hit one ball, you're like, this dude's the best hitter of all time, right?
Yeah.
Isn't
But
he?
he put a dent in dead center once. It wasn't even the monster anymore. It was like
Crazy.
back, you know how they have that platform where they film the game from?
Yeah.
It was like back there. And they're like, I don't think we've ever seen this get dented.
No,
This is
yeah,
450 feet
Glenn
away.
Allen Hill on the Cubs too. He would hit him like over the fucking apartments that people. You know what I mean? Like, but that does not make you the greatest hitter of all time. You know, it's like, and Aaron Rodgers was that guy for me for so long, and then the Jets signed him, and I was like, fuck, like I've been talking shit about this guy forever. And there was this part of me that was like, you know, if he does what he does. And the defense is the defense, and like if it all comes together, and like, you know, shame on every Jets fan for ever thinking it would come together. The only thing I'll say is the Achilles was just like, I mean, I guess that's part of the problem though, is you signed a 40-year-old guy,
Yeah.
but like that's just such a freak occurrence that probably fucked everything up, and who knows in an alternate universe that doesn't happen, and who knows, but it did, and it's because he's old, and like that's part of your risk when you sign a vet like that, but now that it's over, it's like. I'm like,
Dude,
I don't like dudes who cause problems and get people fired and pretend like that. Huh?
Oh, that was me. Like, you
such a
ruined
Robert
that guy's
Saleh.
fucking
What are you
job.
talking about?
Yeah. Like, if you do it, like, say it, fine.
Yeah, dude.
But like, you brought in all your toys. We
This is
fired
it.
who you wanted fired. We catered to you like a little baby. And yes, there's a whole bunch of other problems. But there's been several times where it's like, here's the ball with less than a couple minutes to go. Like, do your thing. And it's like 3 and out.
He's
like,
not a leader, which
No,
is like
that's what it
70%
is.
of the football.
Right.
The quarterback
How many
position.
Super Bowls after he won that first Super Bowl, you're like, oh, this dude's going to win
Yeah, he never
every
did.
Super Bowl
Right.
for the next 10
It's all-
years.
That's what everyone
he
kept
has
telling you.
one,
Right.
bro. Like, I mean,
That's what's
and one is what
crazy.
matters. Like, it's a sport where if you get your one, like, you're solidified. But you know, it's like
Eli has
would
two.
you rather, you know, a Dan Marino or right. Like there is just other people who it's like, I don't know.
It's
man.
also the like, I'm a Patriots fan.
Same.
I'm a Brady fan too. This is, as my second favorite team, this is probably my most successful season of all time. Like, I was thinking about it the other day, watching. I was like, Aaron Rodgers was falling apart. Jets are done. fantastic. Never have to even hear that ever again. Cross that off the list.
Agreed.
Patrick Mahomes is having a season that Tom Brady wouldn't dream of having. He's like 10 touchdowns, 10 picks. Like, never in a million years. Guess what? That's off the list now, right? And Drake May's the guy.
Drake May looks good, dude.
Drake May's not the guy.
Oh,
he looks good.
He's your guy, but like
I was watching.
Would you like to have
you
him on
guys
the
said
Jets
this
right now?
about everybody though. So until yes, you did.
I never said that about Jacoby Brissett.
Well, maybe not you individually, but who was the other? The one right before
Mac Jones.
I heard Mac Jones was the guy too.
if
So
you're-
fuck off.
Mac Jones.
You guys are the guys who you're the fan base who cried wolf. It's like
there was
had a couple good
admittedly,
games.
admittedly there was a stretch with Mac Jones. Not even a stretch. There were games where I'd be like, he's showing signs. He
first
could have
season.
it. I've watched Drake May play full games where I go, that's the guy. Like I was watching Herbert Burrow Sunday night going, these guys aren't doing anything Drake May can't do.
Take it easy.
Dude,
Let
Drake
me ask
May
you a
is so
question.
fucking good.
For
Because
a
I
fan
don't
base
know-
that watched Tom Brady, you think it would be a little more like, well, wait a minute, before you start crowning people. But
we
you guys just
also-
hand them out.
Oh, you wouldn't
Crowns to everybody.
What was Brady's first full season? What were his stats like? Because I bet you.
I mean, it was a different league. They weren't Tom Brady. He wasn't. I don't think he was Brady until
But he
like
wasn't.
06, 07.
But his interceptions were still down. I mean,
Yeah.
because Mahomes right now also.
Something's
But
going on.
that's
with that
my point.
team, though,
Dude,
you know?
his left. Look,
You could compare it to Brady's season
This is-
180.
this is
but
what
you're
I'm
not
saying.
doing it Brady season 10.
no, but Brady season 1, but Mahomes season 1 is so much better than Brady season 1.
Yeah, right.
It's not even like. Like how didn't the second season he had 50 touchdowns or something crazy like that?
Mahomes?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it wouldn't
Kind
shock
of
me.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm with you though. Because I'm such a homer, I root against the Chiefs not because I actually dislike them.
No.
I just don't want
Oh, yeah, of
their
course.
dynasty compared to.
That's the most natural thing in
Agreed.
the world.
Right.
And I actually, it's actually eased my Brady defense too, because it's when Brady was Brady and like we were humming.
Yep.
I was like, we're never gonna see this again in the history of sports.
Yep.
Mahomes is already close enough where I'm like, we will one day.
I
So
agree.
okay, I'm not as like holding it in a death grip. Like it actually happens pretty fast. How you get the next, it went from. It didn't quite go Montana Brady, but Brady wasn't that far after Montana either.
Yeah.
And like so it will happen. There will be another Brady. And even if Chiefs fans want to tell me, like if a Chiefs fan's arguing with me Mahomes is better, I'd be like, look, man, you're never gonna win me over. That's fine because I felt what Tom Brady made me feel. But I see your argument. Like
Agreed.
it's not a crazy argument you're making.
It really bummed me out when people are like Kelsey's better than Gronk. I'm like, I don't want to say yes because Gronk dealt with injuries that. And a non-injury Gronk, who knows how long that dude plays, and because he was running people over.
Right.
And I always wondered why he took such bigger hits than Kelsey. Like he would take, maybe because he had looked for the contact for a while. I'm not
that's
sure.
part of the almost problem with Gronk is why he was so awesome. I think he also was like risking his body and loved the, it's like, well, now your back's broken, dude. For the record, it was he went his first full season. Brady went 18 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Then he went 28 touchdowns, 14 interceptions.
Right, so that first season feels somewhere in this Mahomey thing right now.
And
But this is that season 1 versus.
By the
I
way,
think this is Mahomes what
2002,
eighth season?
28 touchdowns. It's bold on Football Reference. So I think that was the league leader. Which
Yeah, 'cause it was
28
that
touchdowns?
was the lead leader.
Dude, the league back then was. I mean, that was when you had fucking Antoine Smith was getting 30 carries a game.
my
Like,
God.
quarterbacks weren't
Corey
slinging it.
Dillon.
And then in 2007, he had 50 fucking touchdowns.
Yeah,
50 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
that's like ridiculous numbers.
Yeah.
But what year did the league change? Really start to change?
After the Ty Law, like 3 picks, which was the 04 Super Bowl, maybe. That was when the Colts complained after that
They were manhandling
They were
them.
manhandling the wide receivers, and then the rules changed on 5 yards after contact, and that's when I think at least I think the NFL started
football
opening up.
and basketball. I would love to see a blend of the old and the new. One of the I can't watch regular season basketball,
new
but I'll
basketball
watch
sucks, and
I'll
people are
watch
trying to catch
playoff
on.
basketball,
Yeah.
because they let you body each other up.
But also the players body each other up.
But this is
the
what- yeah.
regular season is just like bombs away, half court shot, half court shot, half court shot. And I get it, but it's like
boring.
It was cool when like 2 guys were doing it. Like Damian Lillard and Steph Curry was like, whoa. But when everybody does it, it's like, this just sucks. That's why I think Anthony Edwards is like the savior. Like he's the only one, and I think might restart another. Because it really is like what Steph Curry was doing. Steph Curry's cool because he just let the world know you can do something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think everyone was like, you can't shoot from half court. And then he did it.
And a regular looking dude.
And then there was fucking, bro, forget about regular dudes in the NBA. There's highlights of 6th graders.
Yeah.
There was one that went viral where it was like 6th grade kids, bombs away, like 3 half-court shots in a row. And it was like, we just unlocked this thing. Like, oh, you can do that now. But now I need another generation to know that you can like go to the fucking hoop and hammer it on someone, and that's the way to play.
Last night, Karl Anthony Towns, he pump fakes at the 3-point line. Guy jumps, he steps up, and I'm like, oh, he's got a clear path to the.
Shoots it.
Then he steps back.
It shoots another 3.
Shoots another 3. I'm
in?
like, dude, 2 steps
Did
to
it
the
go in,
rim,
though?
bro. It went in.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
But-
I don't want to
and-
see Wemby shoot 3s.
Yeah, right.
What are you doing out there, dude?
Right.
You're 9 feet tall. You don't have to jump to dunk. How easy is this fucking game for you? What are we doing? Get down by the basket,
He
bro.
is like
Fucking
all
crazy.
due respect to Giannis with the freak nickname.
yeah.
Like he's a literal. I love that they like Nike. His symbol is an alien. Like he's
Yeah.
like literally an alien. That man is like he's an alien walking on the planet
He's
Earth.
blocking shots of other 7-footers going up for dunks without jumping. He's just like,
Dude, when he takes like 2 steps to get from the opposite free throw line to the fucking other hoop.
I
bananas.
saw. I don't watch basketball that closely, but I remember seeing a video where it was like he won Defensive Player of the Year. Did he?
No, he
No.
did not.
Okay,
that was like people. They gave it to Rudy Gobert again, and it was like
Right.
this is bullshit.
So this video was, if you have any question why he actually is the Defensive Player of the Year, it was like he hit a 3, and then the team they hit it on like got the ball down court quick. Like they had like 3 guys down, and he stopped.
Everybody.
He stopped everyone.
Right.
They-
Like the guy didn't go for a layup, and whoever he passed it to, he closed out on. And they passed it to another guy, and he blocked him.
by the
It's
way,
like, yeah.
he can
was
cover
like,
the
what
three.
the
Think about it. I mean,
fuck
honestly, when he puts his hands out, it's probably at least 2 people, if not like 3 defenders.
Dude,
it's
if he's
crazy.
standing in the middle of the key and he just pivots on his left foot, he can
He's
cover
to
the 3-point
to-
line and the
hoop,
basket at
and
the same
baseline
time.
and the sideline.
Fucking
It's
crazy.
fucking unreal.
But
Unreal.
we're going towards like when I was growing up, there was a guy named Ralph Sampson,
Mm-hmm.
and he might have been the first big guy. You're like, oh, he's dribbling the ball. Robert Parrish did not dribble the
Mm-hmm. Right.
basketball
Right.
up the court. You know, that was like, what are you doing?
Again, that was something like Ralph Sampson was like, I'm just going to do this too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then guys started to, and that was pretty early, so it still took a long time. But even like by the time Shaq got to the league, there was those highlights every now and then where he would just take it up the court and people were like, what the
100%.
fuck? You know?
But nobody was getting in front of him.
Yeah.
No,
As soon as he started
knew.
running,
Yeah.
people were like, that's
Yeah.
2 points.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that charge.
If you are getting some holiday shopping done this week, let me tell you something to pick up at the store. Pick up a couple touchdowns. You know what I mean? You don't have to pick up at the store. You can do it on the app. They are on sale at the DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sportsbook partner and official sportsbook partner of the NFL. What else would you expect from the number 1 place to bet touchdowns? DraftKings has doorbuster profit boosts and bet 1, get 1 promotions on all types of touchdown bets. Be sure to check the DraftKings Sportsbook app all weekend. There's going to be so much football on this weekend. Like, I actually, little side note here, I saw the John Gruden thing the other day. I laughed so damn hard. It was just him getting jacked up for football. I'm going to watch that 10 times this week. Be sure to check the DraftKings Sportsbook all weekend for flash deals that will have you dancing in the end zone. Grab some TDs with DraftKings Sportsbook. They are on sale from Thanksgiving through Cyber Monday. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KFC to opt in. That's code KFC only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Dude, I was at my daughter's first basketball game. She's in 3rd grade. And
How old is that 3rd grade?
She's turning 9 she's 8 right now. She's almost 9. And we went to this court. We went to this place. It was like, I felt like I was at like Rucker Park, or I was like in the cage or something. It was this tiny gym where they just had a row of fold-out seats that were. It was like being courtside. Your feet were on the fucking sideline.
Yeah.
And then they had like it was an auditorium, so they had a stage. And this place was packed out and fucking sweaty and loud, bro. Like loud. People, I was like, oh shit. I was thinking like, I'm just gonna go watch these girls like putter around. And I mean, people are like, box out, get the rebound, like.
You were like, I should have brought better snacks. I just brought Capri Sun. I should have come
It
correct.
was so fucking unbelievable to watch it, man. I had.
Dude, I remember I coached my kids' teams.
Yeah.
And I played lower level college baseball. And so I know, and we used to, the Division I teams used to come down because I played in Texas, and you would see the difference between us and the Division I players. They had all 5 tools.
Yeah.
Right? And all of them played shortstop and pitch on their high school team. Every single one of them, right? And on my team, like, we had like a first baseman, you know, the dude who could hit, his hands are super fast, but he was short and fat. And it took him like, he was going station to station.
Yeah.
He wasn't hitting doubles.
Need 5 singles here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We had a bunch of those dudes on our team. But the difference so when I'm coaching these kids, I would tell people at the beginning of the year, I watch tryouts, nobody's going pro.
Yeah.
None of your kids are going pro.
Right.
I'm telling you right now. So let's take it easy on screaming from the stands because you're not going to be helping any of them. There was this one dude who he wore the short gym coach those shorts, and his son liked to pick flowers in the outfield.
Yeah.
And he hated it. He was like, "Pay attention!"
Yeah.
And so he came up to me one day, and he was like, "Look, my son wants to play shortstop." And I turned to it. I go, "Do you want to play shortstop?" He was like, "Yeah." And it was one of those all dirt fields.
Oh, I know those well. I'm playing on those
bouncers
right
are never true.
Yeah.
That you're just like,
They're coming fast.
You're coming fast in a hop. You look like it's here, and it's here, or it's here. So we put the kid at short. He's not paying attention. Ball gets hit to him, bounces up, hits him in the chest. And so I run up, and he's, and the whole team's around him. There's like 10-year-olds, right? And so everyone's concerned for this kid, all the other players, and the guy runs on the field. He's like, "Get up, you're okay. Get up, you're okay." And this dude, he was squatting down.
Oh, no.
And this one kid goes, "Mr. Thompson, your penis is hanging out." and that guy never came back to another fucking game.
I bet, bro.
He was just like, "Oh, yeah, I probably should be."
Sex offender right now. Going to be on a list. Dude, it's funny. It's funny you say this kid got hit in the chest. So my son just joined a travel team, and he was like,
how old?
He is 7. So he's still
crazy. This travel team.
Yeah, but he's on an 8. He's like playing a little bit up. So we went from like coach pitch, no umpires, no outs, just everybody gets the hit, and he's fucking hitting. I throw it like a dart to him, and it's like in the same place every time. He's hitting dingers. He thinks he's fucking Babe Ruth. We go to play on a travel team. He's in the deep end, and these kids are fucking awesome. I'm convinced that like all these kids are going to be professional athletes one day. I'm like, you can't be better than this at the age of like 7 or 8. It's not, they're also ridiculous. Some kids have sliding mitts and shit. It's just like first of all, none of you are sliding head first.
Well,
second of all, like none of you have like broken hands that you need to protect. Like, but they want to look like Mookie Betts.
I immediately rolled my eyes at that, but like I wore an Iverson shooting sleeve.
Absolutely,
like,
same
did?
shit. Same
yeah,
shit.
Dude, I didn't even play back. Like I played CYO basketball for like 3 years. I wore a shooting
You want
sleeve.
to look cool,
too. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But so Keegan's in over his head, and he's learning, trial by fire. So it's tough season, and we're working through it all, but anyway, he's up at the plate, and I'm like, he's too afraid to swing, and I'm like, bro, just swing the bat 3 times. I don't care where the fucking balls are. First pitch, right at him, he has to turn to get out of the way, thumps in the chest, and I'm talking the whole.
He turned outward.
He turned away like this, and it was so outside, like it was such a wild pitch.
Yeah,
boom, like thud, like that. We all hear it, like. And I've never been prouder because I was like, that's it. We are never playing baseball again because I know he's going to be like, we had just come from flag football where he was crying if like someone pulled his flag, let alone getting a fucking ball to the chest. It hurts. You're embarrassed, the whole 9. And I had, there was like a netting that you had to go under, right? And I put my head under. I immediately ran on the field being like, A, I've heard horror stories of like kids getting hit in the chest and fucking dying, their heart stops or whatever. And B, I was like, he's going to be crying and I want to just like scoop him up and get him away. And by the time I went under and got my head up, he was running to first, just smiling. And everyone was kind of like, oh, fuck yeah. And it was like, I've never, it was just like the range of emotions are swinging, but I was ready to run on the field too, the same way that guy was.
What did you say to him when you got in the car?
Well, right away, first of all, he was like, I think there's gonna be a bruise there. There's gonna be a bruise there.
Awesome.
And I was like, dude, you're the toughest guy in the world. You're the fucking man. You're the
I bet you he felt good about himself, right?
100%. Like I was probably short of like hitting a home run. That was probably the coolest thing that could have happened to him. He was telling everybody.
Yeah, dude.
It was great.
I bet he drew stitches like.
Oh, he wanted there to be a bruise so bad.
Badly.
I was like, bro, that pitch was like 23 miles an hour. There's not gonna be a bruise. But put it this way, it was enough though that all the dads were asking me if he wore one of those chest protectors that kids wear. because he
Like
just
Kevlar
ate it.
under his.
Well, kids wear those now because there's like these freak occurrences.
They do?
It's a specific baseball thing that it's like a little plastic kind of chest protector
Under
And
your
Under your
uniform?
uniform, yeah. It's a little bit extreme, but there's stories of kids getting line drives and pitches and shit where I think it hits you in your heart at like.
There
skips
is.
a beat or
There
whatever.
always.
But when other dads are asking you if your son's wearing fucking
Yeah.
equipment because
Armor.
he ate it, and I was like, no, that's natural. That's that Clancy blood.
I wore
I got hit
a.
by it. I would have been like, ow!
I wore lacrosse rib protectors because I had mono, and if I got hit in the spleen, I would have died.
Yeah.
But the only reason I could play with mono is because my mom forged the doctor's note.
Gangster.
And then she got me
Yo.
the lacrosse pads.
You want to talk about
For
just-
real, you can die if you get hit in the spleen with mono.
Yeah.
And then your mom was like, "You're gonna be all right."
It was championship game.
Oh, yeah.
It was my sophomore season, maybe junior
flags
season.
fly forever, babe.
And it
Fuck your
was-
spleen. Get out there.
It was the NEPSAC, the New England Prep School, whatever championship. And she's
What
like,
prep school did you go to?
Portsmouth Abbey in Rhode Island. And she was like, "Do you want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to fucking play." She's like,
Literally, the job of the parent is to like. Of course, the kid's gonna say he wants to play. Like you're gonna die if you play.
That's
She's
why
like, "Get out
your
there."
parents are supposed to be like, "You shouldn't play."
Right, right. That's what parents are there for.
I remember, and then we won, and I was celebrating on the field with my coach, and I was like, "Just so you know, my mom forged that letter." And he goes, "Fights, don't tell me that."
That's fucking great. Man.
That's a different time, man.
No, totally
I don't
is.
remember any. Like growing up, I don't know if our parents didn't know about safety or just didn't care, but it was never like a huge concern of like, hey, you might get hurt.
Right.
No, it's like you're gonna get hurt and it's gonna be okay.
I was talking to a friend of mine about this the other day, and he's got kids, and I go, "Do you remember, dude? I used to get on the handlebars of your bike." No helmets, either one of us.
Right.
And we used to go to the store and buy your dad cigarettes. And he was like, "Yeah, I remember that." We would walk in. The guy was like, "I can't sell you cigarettes." And the guy would be like, "It's for my dad." And he'd be like, "Okay."
The good old
Yeah, that
days.
was it, dude. We would come back with some Marlboro Reds for this dude's dad on the handlebars. And the guy was like, "You're good kids." And we were like, "Okay." My neighbor used to call me at the house. He was like, "Oh, the Jew kid's here." I wasn't offended. I'm like, "That is me.
Yeah.
I am the Jew
But
kid."
it's funny like how language evolves. Like, words mean different things at different times. Almost like what we were talking about with the locker room earlier. Like
Yeah.
at that stage, some people used it racistly, but some people were like, "I don't know, this is just common,
Right.
how
Just
we talk."
Descriptive.
It's,
like,
I don't
Again,
think
man,
less of these people. It's
it's-
just
what
the
separated
rules
me
that
from the
we
other ones
abide
is
by.
I was the Jew
The Jew.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, we lived. We had one kid who was Jewish in like our community, and like didn't even like understand that there was like others out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, I don't know, this is like the weird kid, and then you get outside, like in the rest of New York City, like, oh, there's more of them out there.
How many times did he have to explain what matzah was? And people were like, "What? Say that again."
But, yo, it's funny you bring up this Jewish shit. I sat
This Jewish shit.
I sat Shiva the other day.
Oh.
Well, but what I thought was going to be Shiva, there was this whole story. I ran into this family. They were fans of mine. Their father literally, I was at the hospital. Their
Oh, I
father-
saw that
right.
story, yeah.
And they were like, "Will you come sit Shiva?" And I thought it was going to be like the real sit Shiva, but I think they did that with their family,
Yeah.
and then they had like a party, and I walked in and I was like, "This is an Irish wake. I
Yeah.
get what's going on. Like, I know how to do that game." So
it's-
I didn't know. Is that you guys do that, or was that
Well,
like an exception for them?
My family was not super Jewish, right? We did most of the high holidays, and every now and then we'd do like Shabbat. But we still had.
So that's the equivalent of Christmas and Easter. Christian. Yeah.
But I mean, except the week of no bread when you're a kid makes you the weird. When you come in with a peanut butter and jelly on matzah, and people are like, "What the fuck is that?"
What's that for?
Why-
Week of no bread. What's that one?
It's
Yom Kippur.
yeah,
It's one of those.
I forget.
You are a bad
yeah,
Jew.
dude. Yom Kippur, I believe, is
Santa and Jesus.
yeah. Yom Kippur
Christmas.
is the fasting.
Yeah, that's the one you're atoning or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
and then I think there's a
Rosh
week of no
Hashanah
bread,
is-
and then maybe Rosh Hashanah's New Year, so it must be Passover leading up to Passover.
Got it. Week of no
Somewhere
bread.
around there. I would ask a real Jew.
Are you 100%? Like, are you both?
I'm 100% Jewish. Yeah, I
Did
mean,
you raise your kids religious at all?
no,
Like bar mitzvah and shit?
No, I left all that up to them.
Bro, and they didn't do it?
I was like, you're missing out on some money.
As a Gentile, I remember I got like $400 for my confirmation, and the Jews were getting legit like you're in like
a lot of
you're in
money.
like 6th or 7th grade, you get $5,000. It's like what?
Can I tell you? So the guy who taught me how to read out of the Torah, my dad was the cheapest.
Well,
And so yeah, exactly. He hired this dude. I'll never forget this dude named Dennis. He smelled the worst. He came in with his shirt buttoned down to here with just hair. And
well, that's a guy that you want teaching you the Torah, though. You know,
except when he would be teaching you, and he would twist his chest hair and pull some out and sprinkle it. He would sprinkle it on the fucking. Sprinkle it, and it was hard for me to concentrate. I was always he smelled.
Yeah, no fucking kidding.
He smelled, so I was always like, but when he would go, so when you do it, he would when you do it, and I was always like,
the Torah.
he was salt baying my
God,
dude. And so I would tell my dad, I was like, Dennis is sprinkling chest hair. And he was like, yeah, but he's like $15 an hour.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, because everywhere else he gets fired for sprinkling his chest hair on the fucking ground. Dude, the worst part was my dad was like, after we do the class, he'd go, hey, go sweep up Dennis's chest hair. And I'd be like, why do I gotta
Like a fucking barbershop? You got a pile of it?
I had to get it. Well, my dad was
God.
like, I don't want to step on it with my bare feet. I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to go get the little dustpan. And
Disgusting,
it
bro.
was pretty bad.
That is
It was
brutal.
Dude, it was Baruch Atah. It was fucking so gross, dude. Why? I don't know at what part you start doing that, or if it's a nervous
Well, you know what though?
habit.
Like, it's probably one of those things that like I'm trying to think of. There's definitely like weird shit that like I don't know. I'm always like biting my nails and clipping my nails and shit. And and when I do it in front of other people, I think they're like, that's gross, you know. But it's like
But
you do
twisting
it. But
chest
yeah,
hair?
like that's what I mean. Like you have certain habits that I think you do at home, and then eventually you do them so often, maybe it bleeds out into real life. Pulling out your chest hair and sprinkling it ain't one of them.
But butting your nails, I think, is pretty universal for people.
Yeah, you're right. Like, that's like you've seen it before. Ain't nobody ever seen that before.
No, or since. There has never been a time where
I just picture him like at the bar talking to girls, like
I
when
don't
he's a
think he
younger
talked to
guy.
many girls. just on the BO alone,
You never
I don't
know.
think
You got to find a nice Jewish boy. There's a lid for every pot, man.
Dude, this fucking guy, when he came to the bar mitzvah, he was sitting by himself. Everybody else was all, grouped together, and he was just in the back. Dennis, fucking, fucking straight up gross, dude.
Man.
I don't know how you would start. It feels like a nervous habit.
That's what I mean. Like he does not even realize he's doing it. Like he's just on autopilot. You need someone in your life to check you, bro.
Somebody be like, hey.
Stop doing that.
And my dad wouldn't because he was so cheap.
Yeah.
He was like,
Dude, how's Vegas? Vegas is.
I love it
home.
more than any place I've ever lived.
Really?
Are you living like?
I live in Henderson.
What does
That's
that
like 15 minutes outside. It's the quietest place I've ever lived.
Why'd you go there?
My wife, we had gone from LA to Nashville. We wanted to
Right.
get out of LA.
Right.
We went to LA to Nashville, and she just hated the weather. She's not into the cold. She's not into the humidity. There was a tornado season. She was like, season? Like spring, summer, tornado?
I didn't know that Nashville has that like that.
It's crazy. It's not southern weather. It's mid. It's mid.
Yeah.
Midwest. It's
Yeah,
mid,
you
middle
think
of the
Nashville
country.
is hot, and then you realize.
Yeah, so she and we both have had really, really bad bouts with mold toxicity. So we've had to really just gravitate towards hot and dry. And so I was not moving to Arizona, where the old Jews are. I'm not old enough.
not yet.
I'm not saying no,
Yeah, right.
but I'm not old
getting
enough.
there.
As long as I'm not
Yeah.
picking my own chest hairs out, I'm not ready for it.
There's gonna be a day where you're going like this, and you go,
Oh,
"Honey,
fuck.
we're moving to Arizona."
Look up Scottsdale. But I love Vegas, man. I have a residency there every Monday night.
That's awesome. Are you a
And-
gambler and like a
I'm a
are the
sports
sirens
gambler.
calling you, the Vice calling you, or
I'm a
you
sports
can,
gambler.
Yeah,
So that is something I can do from anywhere. So
Right.
it's not worse because I'm there.
right.
And I honestly don't like the people who gamble enough. I'd go and play blackjack, but I hate the fucking people at the table so much.
Right.
There's always like an Asian dude who's yelling at you because you took a card.
Right.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Or a fucking bachelor party.
Yeah,
or
dude.
whatever variation of Vegas it is not something you want to be around consistently, at least.
It's not. And we go down there every now and then. Just for food or whatever, or for a show.
Are your kids living? Are they old enough to
Jacob
live?
lives there.
He lives at home.
Jacob lives not with us, but he lives in Vegas.
Got it.
And he tours with me now.
Right. It's
Which is
fucking
like,
awesome. Bro, it's Bron and Bronny.
the original.
Yeah. Well, Griffey and Griffey were the original.
Dude, that's true.
There's a documentary coming out about them soon. And by the way, MLB is putting out awesome documentaries, and I haven't watched any of them because they're impossible to find. But they're all awesome.
What are they?
There was a Greg Maddox one.
Yeah.
There was
Dude, the Maddox clips are insane.
Yeah.
Have you seen the clips online?
Yeah. So awesome.
That
But
one
that's what I
where
mean. I
he
wanna watch
set
the whole
up
thing.
Bagwell.
In the regular season for the postseason? Incredible. This one. Hey, look who it is! Come on in! Join the party!
Tommy John, hands down the best underwear I've ever worn. Everything Tommy John makes is meticulously crafted from breathable stretch fabric for the perfect fit, including their loungewear and sleepwear for both him and her. Be the GOAT. We addressed this last time, but I have to address it again. The GOAT doesn't really make sense here because they're making it the greatest gifter of all time. That's 2 G's. You have to be the double G GOAT, the double GO, the GO. I don't know. Whatever. Just give Tommy John. It feels good to give, but it feels great to give Tommy John knowing you're upgrading their lives. Honestly, if people always talk about gifts for men and guys whine about it all the time. I don't get good presents. All you need is underwear. Just get, I don't buy myself underwear. I know most of the guys I know don't buy themselves underwear. Buy us some Tommy Johns. We'll be happy. I love putting on a fresh pair of underpants. With over 21 million pairs sold and thousands of 5-star reviews, giving Tommy John is a great holiday tradition. Great days begin with great underwear. That is very true. Don't miss Tommy John's spectacular Cyber Monday sale for their best deals of the season. Save 40% off site-wide at TommyJohn.com/KFC. 40%'s a big number. 40% off for limited time at TommyJohn.com/KFC.
I figured this might happen.
Looking sharp. That's a great jacket. I got it in Ireland.
You look like, dude. You legit.
Recorded? Yeah, but
You legit look like a sailor on leave. Hey, this dude could pick some chest hair. Yeah. Fuck yeah. This is a chest hair picker right here.
Oh, those pants, too.
I'm telling you, he's a sailor on leave, this dude right here. Fuck, look.
get over here and suck my dick.
You know, you said it like that's what happens when you walk in here.
You're ruining everything.
I took a step because I was like, he might say
Yeah.
Wait a second. Let me finish.
Yeah, what if he doesn't stop me?
Let's see what I'm getting into first.
What if he's like, yeah, keep coming, big boy. Yeah, you took one step.
Bro,
Don't be scared.
The salt and pepper on both of you, but the salt and pepper on you is a look.
It's getting mostly salt, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of salt, but
But you know what's crazy is that same with my mustache. It's the last thing
Yeah.
to go.
I was hoping jet black eyebrows and jet black stash. That's a good look. Yeah. And then fucking silver everywhere.
Yeah.
Woo!
Jet black bush?
you kind of have it.
But Bush?
Jet black bush?
What were you guys talking about? No, it's all the same.
Jewish
It's all-
men pulling hair out of their chest and sprinkling it on the ground.
Yeah,
That's what we
dude,
were
the
talking
guy who
about.
taught me my
What?
bar mitzvah, he used to pick his chest hair and sprinkle it on.
Dude, no Jew talk today. I've been living in Texas. I'm already over it. I've had enough.
Yo,
I've been
you
here
are
2 days.
you're so not a Texas guy, bro.
I know, but
It's
dude,
so-
I was very scared.
Yeah.
You know, because I am East Coast as fuck.
Yeah, you're
They're great.
loving it.
Great
Yeah,
people.
Yeah.
Everyone's just fat and jolly.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
It's awesome.
And they all think you're Joe Pesci.
Dude, there's none of us.
Yeah, there's none
There's
of you.
none of us.
Yeah, it's like
You're
reverse, you know?
I met one guy with like an eye on his last name. I was like, I found you. What do you want to do? Let's do something. You play pool? I don't either. Who gives a fuck?
Bro,
What are you doing in town?
I'm AYG, this pod, and birthday dinner
Fuck yeah.
It's your
Your
birthday?
birthday? Happy birthday.
today.
It's your birthday today?
Right now?
How old are you?
How old is Tommy?
Well, let's all guess. Let's all
I
guess.
think
Let's all
Tommy's
guess.
older than he looks.
He's one of those
You look-
dudes who
you-
could be 55 or 38.
I was gonna say 42.
You're not in the. I think you're high 40s. You're not 50 yet, but you're older than you look.
No.
3 quinceañeras.
You're 45.
45. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Bro, that was gonna take me an hour.
Yeah.
Spanish trying to translate that and do math. I was like, thank God for the fucking LA boy.
Get him some crayons and work
Bro, you don't know anybody who's worse at math than this fucking guy. Like if numbers are set, I can physically watch his eyes, like his brain checks out. He's just like, I don't know, someone else.
Yeah, it should be standard. The fat girl Mexican in a ball gown is 15.
Everybody knows.
Everybody
Right.
knows.
Who's better at math than the Jew sitting on the couch? I have 3 times 15.
You know what I love is the gambling math. Like Portnoy. I don't know anything about his if he could do real math, but you ask him anything about gambling, and it's like, oh, okay, he knows the exact amount to bet and the exact number to cover and all that shit.
It gets old. It gets different when you get older. You know what math I do now? Like if the show starts at 10 o'clock, I'm going to be home at midnight. I go to sleep by 1. I'm going to get 6 hours. Like it's a different.
You're planning a whole week.
Yeah, I'm planning out. It's old dude math.
I do some. I'll be in bed at.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Get home to me is I get home and I'm instantly in a fucking robe and on the couch with a fire and a beer and a fucking movie within 30 seconds.
What's with that creepy kid in your backyard? That little statue. Is it still there?
Still there. I'm not touching that thing.
There's something buried back
You
there.
were just talking about your kid.
Jesus Christ. I'm not touching it.
My wife loves him.
I keep him in the backyard.
Charlie, get out of here!
It's a
always fucking
statue.
there.
I bought my house, and I really don't know what happened because we walked the property when I was looking at the house, and we walked the backyard, and not me, my family, the real estate agent, nobody saw this thing. And then, as soon as I bought it, the first week, my dad's at the house, he's doing work, and he goes, he made some joke. We got your first squatter at the house. And I was like, what does that mean? He's like, the statue in the backyard. And he sends me a picture, and it's this little kid with a Freddy Krueger, polo striped shirt on, and it has, real hair. And it was just in the backyard, and I was like, that was not there.
Just a Halloween thing?
No, it's it's very hard to. I don't know what it is, and it's got rocks at the bottom, in a circle to hold it down. And
Has
I was
anything
this is some
happened to you
haunted
since
shit.
you found this?
There it is.
This fucking thing. Look at that.
That is in my
fucking
backyard.
thing, dude.
Where are you looking at?
That is
that thing.
See that the little statue? Just do Control Plus.
Down here?
Do you not know how the internet works, Tom? This thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's his arm. That's his fucking head. That hair is real hair.
Dude, it's kind of
He's
sick.
got jeans on and he's kind of got a fit. Yeah. he's pulling a fit off.
Do you know sometimes?
But I went back and forth on if you leave it, does it, now it's this is my house, or if you touch it, does it let the fucking spirits out or whatever? But whatever that is, I actually had a moment. You know when you're watching a horror movie and you're like, why are they doing this or why are they doing that? I would never, And I was I had a real. I was walking out there to film it.
Yeah.
And I was it was nighttime. It was also I have this shed and there was a light on. And I was I didn't put that light on, so I was kind of freaked out. And I was I'm gonna go film this and make content. And I stopped and I was I'm not doing this. I was I'm genuinely too afraid right now. I'm just gonna go back.
Give me $100. I'll take that out tomorrow.
You don't seem
launch that.
You don't seem like a guy who believes in
Nothing's
shit.
gonna happen to me.
He's talking about fits.
Spirits don't want this, dude.
Can I tell you the easily the gayest thing I ever do in my life is I'll text Tommy. I'm like, does this shirt match with these jeans?
He is good. Yeah.
All the time, I'm like, hey, dude, do I cuff these jeans or do I not cuff these jeans? He's like, cuff those fucking jeans.
Cuff the jeans. Always cuff the jeans.
He's like, always cuff the jeans.
He's the same way. I'm always if Feidelberg likes something, if he compliments you,
He's ahead of the curve, baby.
Yeah. Well,
me and
he's got
Tommy,
three-
me
he's
and
got
Tommy
three of these
actually
things
have
as
a little fashion group text, not group text, but we'll go to text you the back and forth pictures oh, you look fantastic in that.
So good, dude. There's nothing more like vulnerable, just telling your buddy, God damn, you look fucking amazing.
Yes.
Those jeans are great on you.
Yeah, dude.
I want to reiterate that you look. I just bought a jacket that looks so not much like that
Yeah.
I was like, it's such a fucking perfect jacket.
Thanks, pal.
It's very, very
See that?
nice.
I dressed up for this podcast.
You look great. That fucking kid wouldn't wear this.
He at least put pants with buttons on today.
He at least matches.
Nah, dude. I don't buttons. If I need pants with buttons, is an occasion, dude. I'm going drawstring all day.
It really is a slippery slope, though, where it's like, you know,
It was COVID for me. I never
was
wore
the-
sweatpants
yeah.
out of the house.
Right.
And then for a year, I was like, what the fuck have I been
Well, then
doing
there was
my
that
whole
like
life?
athleisure movement where it's like everyone was just wearing fucking sweatpants to like the board meeting. It was
Yeah.
like, you know, whatever. But it is just like, you know, I'm going to my kids' like sports practice. I'm like, I don't have to dress up for that. But you are leaving the house, and then next thing you know, you're like, I got to go to like school with the kid. I don't have to dress up for that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And all of a sudden, you're just a fucking schlub.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, I walked in here today. Yeah.
I think you'll appreciate this. I went on. I told the story. I won't retell the whole thing because we just talked about it. But I chaperoned a school.
Quinceañera.
It's not Quinceañera, dude. It's Quinceañera.
Oh, yeah.
Quinceañera. Quinceañera. Did I get that right?
Dude,
You're like, if I
I
say
had
it
to-
fast enough, nobody will know if I said it right or wrong.
I had to get
Quinceañera.
my license done in Mexico.
You're close. You're not that far.
Guys, like, you're the first people I've spoken to today. I had to get my driver's license in Texas because mine lapsed for like a decade. And I was basically a chaperone at a quinceañera. It was me and like
A million
50
Mexicans? Yeah.
15-year-old Mexican girls. Just
They're all
holding
getting
it
their
there, filling out my information.
Oh, that's right. You didn't have to drive here.
No.
Did you even have did you ever drive?
I had one, in Philly.
Right,
And
right,
then
but in New York, nothing.
since 2009.
right.
Yeah, decade plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you blocking out, like, don't stop cheating.
Dude, no, there was a cheat code. I figured it out.
Yeah.
How'd the chaperone go?
Oh, it was. So I didn't really know what it was. I just signed up. I wanted to do some shit with my daughter.
And
it
how
was-
old is she again?
She's 9, 8, turning 9.
That's an early dance, right?
Yeah, and it was a super duper slavery museum. Like, we were learning the history of slaves, and the way they were talking about it was fucking insane. Like, they started out talking about spices and what was it, like, what the colonies traded. And I was like, I don't know if we're going to talk about, like, how they traded them and what they did, and, you know.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they were like, and then they went to Africa and kidnapped people and made them work for free.
Wait. This is a dance?
No.
That's
this
what
is
he said. You said chaperone. I thought you said chaperone the dance.
Field trip. I thought. Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's a weird
Oh,
dance.
oh,
dude. So it's a slavery themed dance. What did your daughter wear?
Everyone's just in dresses.
I thought you meant,
Dresses
like,
and
you know,
chains. That's a weird dance, dude.
Punch! Who wants punch? I'm good, man. Thanks.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
good.
That would have been
Yeah.
a slavery
Are we doing the
dance.
Cotton Eye Joe with this
thieving
dance? That's a weird thing.
Yeah,
dude.
it was so unbelievable though. They're asking, like, the kids are asking me questions, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Dad, did you ever have slaves growing up? You're like, nah, it's a little before my time.
We weren't good with them either, though.
Wow. That's weird. That's early to take a kid to that. You want kids to understand or
Bro, it
be,
was
but you
nuts.
can't understand
They were
that shit at
talking, you were
8,
talking about
right?
They
babies
just
being
control their
kidnapped in the
bowels.
night.
Yeah,
What the
dude.
fuck? Give them 2-3 years after.
Yeah.
You would be a great chaperone, man.
I would. I'd totally be great.
You'd be like,
I really would.
This shit never happened. Don't believe it. Yeah, this is a lie. Don't believe it.
Holocaust, that's not real.
Yeah.
Give the
It's just the Jews complaining.
Tommy, they did the same thing to Italians.
You would definitely be that guy. Let me tell you, we all were slaves, right? We all have been slaves before. My people were marginalized also, you know?
You blacks ain't the
They
only
changed my
ones.
grandfather's last name.
Get in line. Get in line, Chenzo. No, I'd give the bus driver $100. I'd say, take a left here. We're going to a park. And I just ground balls. Just ground balls.
And rocket them at him, right?
You thought this was a field trip?
Swing.
We're on a field.
It's a field. That's fucking unreal.
Ground balls. I didn't bring my glove. Who fucking
Yeah,
cares?
you ain't gonna need one.
My son just won the Little League championship.
Oh, let's go.
Awesome. Yeah, dude, like once real baseball
He played real baseball.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, when they're old enough to play real, they're still little kids, but they're like playing real. Like I was watching the championship game, and they were like making plays,
That's
and, like
awesome.
getting out of the inning, and like I was like, this is fucking real.
Yeah, it's like when you see a baby start to walk a little bit. You know what I mean? For kids in sports, you're like, oh, they're actually doing the fundamentals, but it's working.
Yeah.
It's not just kids hitting off a fucking tape.
And everybody runs for the ball, and then one person runs the person down.
Yes.
Or they throw the ball at him to get him out.
Yeah.
I was like, no. Okay. Well, that works too, I guess.
Dude, we had there was a relay from the outfield and got a guy at the plate,
That's
and the
pretty good.
catcher threw someone out stealing.
Wow.
They're fucking 7 and 8 years old.
That's crazy.
I was like, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
I don't know about like I feel like when I was playing Little League, it was nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was like 2 or 3 good kids on a team. It wasn't like everybody knew how to play.
We
There
were
were
just talking
3
about this
kids.
yesterday. You know their name, you remember them, who they were.
One of them had a mustache. There was always like this guy right here. It was him. He stopped growing when he was 11.
How long?
Dirt stash.
How far did you play baseball? Did you play baseball in college or anything?
No,
like
I went to college and I wanted to play baseball there. I got a little scholarship, but then my dad talked me out of it.
Why?
He wanted me to be an engineer.
Well, that was stupid
Kevin.
of him.
So he killed my dream.
I actually went to go to
fucking
school for
idiot.
art,
Okay.
and I got accepted to all the art schools in Philadelphia.
like literally paint,
Drawing,
like,
painting.
Yeah.
There was no way your dad was being like,
No.
that
No,
my
that's
son is
crazy
not
shit.
an art.
Right.
No fucking
in this
way.
family.
Dude, well, also there was no graphic arts at that time.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he couldn't see me parlaying my creative abilities into a job.
Right.
Because back then it's
What are you
like,
just gonna make paintings on a piece
exactly.
of paper?
So there was no like
How long did you last as an engineer?
3 years. And I
Oh, you
switched-
did it though.
Yeah,
So
I
you
went to
actually
school for
worked.
engineering
I-
at Drexel.
Interesting.
On the 3rd year, I transferred to IT because I hate it. I did 2 cooperative education. You go to school for 6 months and you go to work for 6 months.
Yeah.
That's what gets
We're talking
you,
engineering, like building, like civil engineering. Yeah.
Architectural.
Wow.
Not like choo choo. That would have been amazing. You're like, I had my hat. And,
No, the first 2 years is like, it's like pre-med. It's like
Yeah,
the
I mean
hardest
that's
fucking
fucking
thing
crazy.
to go through.
But you did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smarter than you look.
Wasted $400,000.
Of his or yours?
Mine. I made it. Yeah, I paid
Fucking
that.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
God,
How
what a fucking scam,
dude.
man.
It's such a funny thing to like start life. You're like, I'll start $400,000 in the hole.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Just me and fucking 1,000 Indians and Chinese.
I was gonna say the craziest. There needs to be somebody. Your father really fucked that one up because if my kid ever came to me saying I'm gonna do engineering, coding, whatever, I'd be like, you're not beating out the Indians and the Asians. So
Yeah.
we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Like it's just not. It's like the same thing as saying like I want to be a pro athlete. It's like
Right.
you're not doing it.
Yeah.
You're
But
not
You
gonna be.
need like my dad was I remember very honest with us, and I appreciated this. I know people were like, that's bad parenting. To me, it was good. My brother was a great artist. I remember one day we were drawing. My brother could draw like superheroes, just free form, awesome. And he was like, you should draw with me. I was like, cool. So we go in. My brother shows my dad, and he's like, Jonathan, that is great. You probably should think of doing this as a career. And I showed my dad, and he was like, "Not your thing."
Start writing jokes.
Yeah, he
You
goes,
better
"This is
start
not."
writing jokes
He goes,
now.
"This is not your thing. You can stop drawing right now." And I was like, "Okay, that's good advice.
Yeah,
I'm not wasting any more time. Good parenting. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, well, good parenting is just like, I don't know, man. Show your kids the outside of your city limits. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I did like 3 applications. My dad didn't give a
All
shit.
Philly?
I was 10th in my high school, and nobody gave a fuck. I talked to my guidance counselor for like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. Isn't this your fucking job?
You tell me, bro.
And
So-
he
so-
gave me a scholarship to Drexel. He's like, I give 1 scholarship out. If you can get into Drexel engineering, I'll give you it. And then athletic scholarship for baseball. And I talked to the coach and I wanted to play.
Same at Drexel. Or a different school?
And then I started school and I was like, there's no way I'm doing anything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like 20 credits, 19 credits, 18 credits your first year. You get 1 summer off and that's it. Then 4 years of straight school and work.
Really?
It's a 5-year program. And it's like,
fucking
it's
crazy.
expensive
So you-
because
wait,
if you
so
can
you went-
make the program work, you're well above the rest of anyone else getting a job.
But so you kind of did the worst
as
of
an
all.
engineer out of college. You're getting a job.
I got a job sophomore year. I was working at Donald Nacarado in Philadelphia.
I don't know what the
So
fuck
you
that
you,
is.
you saw it. Did
You just said that like it was Morgan Stanley.
Donald Nacarado. I'm like, did he make my lunch today? I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's just two uncles.
Donald Nacarado? Like,
Sandwich shop.
yeah, dude, you said it like we were all like, oh, Nacarado. Oh, I got it. Yeah, was he in Die Hard? Was that the building, the Nacarado building? Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Well, wait, so
Nacarado.
you did see it through. Like, you did the school and you got a job and then bailed
Yeah, I
on
was
it?
in engineering. Then I did IT. I worked IT consultant for Verizon and Deloitte. And then
That's right. I remember that. Totally.
I hated that again. And I was like, I
Deloitte's
need
the
to do
worst.
something different. I always thought I wanted to be. It's weird, but I always thought I wanted to be like in entertainment, and I didn't know how. And then I took a job that was more sales oriented. I was a director of marketing and advertising agency, and I'd hit my quota and just fuck off. I was just too lazy. And my boss at the time was like, God, I wish you had a kid, man. If you had a baby, you'd be so good at this fucking job.
But
you
be
be
terrible
motivated?
as a parent, though. But that kid would be fucked. But you'd be doing some good work for us.
And then
How long had you been doing stand-up when we were touring together?
I started in 2009. I started at 29 years old, 30 years old.
So you just a couple
30.
years when we were.
Yeah, I was like 2 years in.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My brother
'cause he
signed me
was
up for an
playing
open mic.
engineer for the first decade, you know?
Yeah, I was wasting time, baby. Yeah, I didn't even know you could go to like comedy clubs. Like I thought, I grew up with my dad. I didn't watch comedy. I still don't. But I don't like. I didn't. All I knew was like Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, George
Yeah.
Carlin from my dad watching it on like HBO or VHS.
Right.
And I thought they were just so funny that some fucking pack of Jews was like, get up there and do it for an hour.
Pack of Jews, like a murder of crows. There's a pack of Jews. Yeah.
And then I
heard
realized
that in a Gibson voicemail.
you go to like a comedy club and you like work at it. It's like a school, you know?
Yeah,
And so my brother signed me up when Helium opened up in like 06 or 07 in Philly. He
Was,
told me
was
about
he
it.
like, you need to, like, you're funny, you should
Oh
do this?
yeah, all my brother's
Like, you wouldn't
friends.
have done it on your own.
No fucking way.
Interesting.
When he was opening for me though, dude, he and only been doing it for a couple years, but he would tell these ridiculous stories, like about the
threesome with the
hooker-
boss is crazy.
What's that?
The threesome with the boss.
His ridiculous stories. Yeah.
Did I say that to
Did
you?
you? Yeah.
I think we cut it. Yeah.
Threesome with your boss.
What?
That is one of the greatest stories.
It's
ever.
a great story.
Not for him.
Do you know how hard it is to take a stripper home?
Yeah.
You gotta be talented.
Yeah.
The gift of gab, they say.
I dated a stripper in college who used to like to have me come to the strip club. And she would, I don't know why she liked to do this. She would have me sit at the bar. And when she gave a dance to somebody, she would take their money, walk over, and put it in my pocket.
Oh my god. Yeah. That
And
rules.
I was always like, yeah, I'm about to get the
I know those
shit
guys
beat
are
out of
happy.
me. No.
But they were probably like, who is that?
She was like, I
guy?
fucking love doing this. This turns me on. I'm like, fucking give me the money then. I'm okay.
What
Bro,
she should
you're
have done.
turning me on right now just talking about it, let alone if it was happening to
Oh,
She
me.
was
should have sat
amazing.
you in there like a pawn. While
Yeah,
other dudes
yeah,
could
yeah.
see you, and then she lets you like suck her boobs and stuff, and there's just gonna be a line.
It's just like a
Like,
live,
she's gonna
live
do it
sex
for
show.
her. Not
did?
me, not there, but
Yeah,
eventually.
I fucking hope so,
Yeah.
Josh.
She let me touch her titty.
Yeah.
It's like we were saying, bro, it's the contract. You're allowed to do that. Second base, dude.
That was that was the time that I realized, oh, I'm not equipped for a threesome. Because she was like, "You ready for a threesome?" I was like, "I think so." Right? And it was her and another girl, and I was like, "You two should get real close to finishing, and then I'll join it." Because this,
I'll get you I'm the fullback. I'll get you across the goal line.
I can tell
I'm
you
like,
right
"Goal
now,
line here,
this
okay?"
is not going to be.
Push.
Yeah.
Well played,
Don't count
well
on a
played.
lot of input from me on this one.
I'm a viewer on this one. Yeah.
I don't have to do another hour after this, right? This is it.
No, yeah, this is
sick.
it.
I gotta play pool. Francis Ellis wants to play pool and get drunk.
Where you going?
I don't know. You want to go?
I like
Oh,
it.
Francis belongs to a pool club, a billiards club.
Billiards
I've
club.
been
That
to it.
motherfucker.
That makes so much sense.
Does he have his own
wants
pool
everything.
cue?
What's that?
Is he one of those dudes
No,
that have like
I
a
don't
pool
think it's
cue?
you.
I could see him having his own bowling ball, his own pool cue,
Yeah.
all that shit.
I don't remember. I've only been once and I was drunk, but like I don't think he brought his own pool. I don't know if it's one of those things like a wine club where they keep your cue in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know where he got his cue
If you
from.
come in with one, when it's on your like shoulder, that's fucking insane.
I'm not playing with you. Dude.
Yeah.
From what I
also,
remember,
you're
he was not
annoying as
very
fuck.
good.
Yo,
so.
being
No, yes.
What the fuck did I do?
If you come in with your own pool cue,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be fun to play with
no,
either.
no.
But you said he's
you'll
not
also
very good.
fucking-
He's better. He's good.
Bro,
but
being
it's
good
not
at
like,
pool, I think, is one of like the
You got
most
to be
awesome things.
such
you
a
can
trash
be.
bag.
Yeah.
No, but I
family.
maybe, but I think it's awesome. Like if you can just step up and run a pool table, I think it's one of the
Why?
like. I think it's like it's one of the most like if you can walk into a bar like a trash bar and people are like they think they're good, they're
Yeah.
talking shit, money's on the line, and you just run the table. I think that's fucking great.
Darts too.
Yeah, that kind of shit. I
Fuck
would love
you up
that.
at darts, dude.
Yeah.
I
you.
I
I
am
think I
nasty.
completely disagree.
I'm
Really?
nasty.
I think if some guys like I'm awesome at pool, I'm like I don't fucking
Yeah,
care.
fuck yeah. I love
Yeah, I
darts.
understand that side of it too.
But
But
by
it's
the
like
way,
anything else. It's
Like a
just
buddy who's like, dude, I'm a great pool player.
no,
I'm like, all
here
right.
and
Yeah.
no,
You just
I
took
mean
the
more,
time.
Yeah.
I mean more like if you're there at the bar and if you're the quiet one and someone's talking shit and you're like, all right, I'll play.
Yeah.
And then you just literally
you like the
table
white
up.
trash hero story.
Yes, I like that. I like a good white trash hero. Is
Yeah.
that's
Donnie
about where
at
I
the
want
VFW coming down and smoking everybody.
yeah.
He wants a pill
Dude,
head.
have you seen?
He's never had sex.
Have you seen like professional darts?
I love watching like overseas. They
So
pack
fun,
those
dude.
Bro,
stadiums.
when,
So
when,
fun.
when they hit like the
Crazy.
triple
So fun.
20 or whatever it is for the win,
I fucking
place
love that.
erupts like it's a fucking walk
How
off home
Will
run.
Ferrell hasn't done a dart movie? I have no idea. Like,
There's a crew of guys here. They go every year when it's at the Garden, right? The Garden.
Hulu Theater, yeah.
Hulu Theater,
Yeah.
And
it's crazy, and
it's
they
like-
sing songs and
Yeah,
shit.
it's like
The people who I will say this, the highlights we see are awesome.
rest
The
of them.
people who go say you pretty quickly are like, all right, we're just watching.
Yeah, we get
darts
it.
here.
Yeah, we get it.
How about everybody throws once?
Yeah. It's like I think it's like an 8-hour day, and we watch a 30-second clip. And we're like, this is
Right.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's like cricket. Like you see a good cricket catch, you're like, this is the greatest sport ever.
You ever
I
go
don't
to
wanna
Wing
watch
Bowl?
20
You know
hours.
what Wing Bowl is?
I know
in Philly?
of it in Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
been, but
It's the same idea. You just get blacked out. The sun comes up. You go into a stadium. And you watch these fat retards get nuts.
I love that. What are they doing? You didn't even tell me what they were doing. What
wings.
What are they doing?
Eating wings.
eating wings. It's like a wing eating
And there's
competition.
like
But it's a
sea-level
big deal in Philly,
strippers
'cause it's
walking
Philly.
around.
Yeah, it's Philly. Yeah.
That's about as big as it gets.
Yeah.
You know.
Dude, in Austin, have you been to that place where they
casual.
that chicken shit bingo?
No.
Where you sit around and you get shit faced and you watch chickens shit on a giant board and you play bingo.
No,
that's cool.
fucking way.
Yeah, it's chicken shit bingo. It's a
I would
good
do
time.
that.
Yeah, that's actually.
like a lot of people, my parents are not the most tech savvy. So it seems weird to give them a tech adjacent gift, but Aura's digital frame is perfect. Because yes, it's tech, but it is so easy. Seriously, it is so easy to get started. And then once you do, the tech is incredible. You can upload pictures right from your phone in just a click. It's one of those, if you guys haven't gotten the gist here, it's a frame. It's one of those frames that are constantly showing new pictures. It's a digital frame, revolving door of new pictures. It'll even pair photos together for you, like two pictures of the same person or from the same day or anything like that. There are no memory cards or USBs required. There's a reason Wirecutter digital magazine, don't worry, I'm in the know, and named it the #1 best digital photo frame. It is the holidays, get gifts, particularly old people and non-tech savvy people who can't really handle this, love it. It's so easy, it blows their mind. Like, how is everyone in the picture? It's like Harry Potter. Like how are they moving in the picture? For a limited time, visit auraframes.com, get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code KFC at checkout. That's auraframes.com, A-U-R-A frames.com, and use promo code KFC. The exclusive Black Friday Cyber Monday deal is the best of the year, so do not miss out. Terms and conditions do apply.
I haven't been I've been sober for about 2 months.
Yeah, that's why I don't call you anymore.
This is the fucking craziest.
You're sober, like off weed and everything?
I haven't been. It's been 30 years since I've been off. We had to put my son in sober living, right? So I was like, I'm gonna do this with
you.
him,
That's
right?
great.
Because he goes on the road with me, so it'd be weird for me to be in the green room smoking weed and be like, "Hey, pussy."
Yeah.
So, but being sober is.
You like it?
It's not what it's cracked up to be.
That was a test. If you fed me that bullshit, I was leaving, dude.
Well, wait. I'm sorry.
I miss mushrooms more than I miss weed.
Oh, you're not even doing mushrooms?
No.
You're not doing anything.
I was doing 3 grams of mushrooms every Friday night for my comedy show.
Yeah, you were a big weed guy too,
Yeah.
right? Edibles and
For
all that?
30 years,
Yeah. So you
100
cut all
milligrams
that
a
out.
day at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cut everything out, man. And it's it's boring as fuck.
Son Jacob?
Jacob,
Yeah.
Dude, if you take one day off from drinking, you realize how many hours are in the day.
But I never drank.
Frightening, dude.
I was
You're
never,
like, it's only 2 p.m.?
yeah. Am I up
What am I going
already?
to do till 6? 6 comes around, you're like, I can't fucking do this.
How many sandwiches can I
Oh my
eat
God.
in one
Then you got to go
day?
on stage. It's like, this is stupid. Life is hard, man.
You're sober right now or no?
No.
No, look at him.
No, but I am weaning. I know, dude.
Look at this.
I had
Does
a
he
long
look
2
sober?
nights.
Long 2 nights.
It's my birthday.
Your whole life has
It
been
looks
a
like
long
we just
2
pulled him out
nights.
of a
He's
whiskey
fucking-
distillery 5 seconds ago.
I know.
He just talked about getting drunk at noon. What are you talking about? Ask him.
Yeah, I'm fun, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you are.
That is true.
Enjoy your
Dude,
darts,
it's
dork.
Tough. It is tough when they start dropping like flies. Like everybody's,
Oh my God,
has.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like so. I just don't really like to drink anymore. But like, it's not like I went sober. But everybody.
I wanna
I'm
to
going to
that
get back
point.
to it, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
not quitting for good. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Make sure
while
he's
he's
good and
getting
then-
his footing,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be out here.
So how
being
long have you
high.
been?
It's been almost 2 months for me.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, okay.
That's a long.
But
because
it's still. I thought you were gonna say like you had been doing it for a couple of years or something like that. So
it
it's
feels
still-
like it.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm not going to last a couple of years. Fucking no,
did
there's
you
no way.
did you like say like? I feel like if it was me, I don't know. If father son's a little bit different, but like if someone was like, "I'm going to do this in solidarity with you," I'd be like, "You don't have to do that."
He told me
But
that.
yeah.
He was like, "You don't have. This is not your responsibility."
Right.
And I was like, "Yeah, but
But
I,
I'm your dad.
yeah,
and-
dude, you're and you're my guy, and I want to. If you're gonna do it and come on the road with me,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
seems
tough to
weird.
be around someone else the whole time.
dude, it
Down the
seems
road.
weird.
Oh,
And more also that it was such a big part of my business. Like I don't want to sit around and glorify what he's trying to,
Right.
the demon he's trying to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like a
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
dick move.
Yeah.
It feels like something
How you
Tommy's
doing
dad
over
would do.
there,
You know?
Did you
Yeah.
But yeah,
did you see John Stamos? What he did in
the ball
solidarity
cap,
with Dave,
shave
Dave
your head, you
Coulier?
pussy.
Bro, the only guy though in the world.
What do you
that
do? Stop sucking dick?
He fucking, you know when people shave their head for cancer and then the barber like shaves their head and
Yeah.
everyone cries.
Yeah.
He put on a bald cap and photoshopped it and then posted it on Instagram and said, "Putting on this bald cap in solidarity with Dave Coulier,
Oh
who's
my
fighting
God.
cancer," which is like the single most out of touch thing I've ever seen a celebrity do.
Dude.
Like to do it first of all and then brag about it. And he said,
As if you're doing
he said,
something.
He said,
Yeah,
"Put on
it's
a
not
bald
even a
cap
joke,
and
right?
flex
No.
my Photoshop
He wasn't
skills."
laughing
No.
afterwards?
No. It was,
Oh my
put
God,
on
what
a
a
bald
piece of
cap and
shit.
flex
Yeah.
my Photoshop skills.
I don't know. That
the
second
quote.
sentence makes me think he's joking.
Yeah,
I think he recognized, but like I don't. I think
How-
I think that's a joke, but like doing it, I think he was not.
How
No,
good
that
a
was,
friend. You can't shave your head one time.
Bro, if you're Stamos,
One
have you
time.
seen his
You don't
hair,
think
bro?
he's getting pussy bald?
Stamos is.
Yes,
You're right.
he is.
But that's
He
like
is.
He could look like an orc at
It
this
doesn't
point.
matter.
you're
Well,
not
he
wrong,
does look
but
like
it's
an
not
orc.
even
Yeah.
about getting.
He does.
It's
He
not
looks
even
like-
about getting pussy. It's about being like, I have the greatest head of hair that has ever.
And it's
fucking
gonna grow
existed.
back.
And I'll prove to you that it
Maybe.
is real.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe it ain't real.
Maybe real. That's a good call.
He is
That's
handsome
a good call.
as
Bro,
fuck,
that hair
though.
is nuts. At every level, when he had the mullet in the '80s, when he had like the '90s kind of like part in the middle, and now it's just every
By the
level.
way, if you were just coming as and you never knew either one of them, but you could be like, which one's the comedian? You'd be like, I can pick that one. I can pick that one out.
Did you see Brandon Walker, a guy who works here, went viral recently for he's not Uncle Joey. He's not an uncle. He's never been called Uncle Joey on that show once.
Really?
He's Uncle.
Uncle Joey's Joey Diaz.
Uncle, yeah. He's just a friend. He's just Danny Tanner's friend in that show.
Oh, so they're gay.
Probably.
So
so why
he's
is that
ju-
guy coming around so much? If
so
he's not
he's-
an uncle, why is he there every fucking
He's
day?
just got
That'd
a
be little
grown
weird.
man friend living with his kids.
I don't even know if they live. I think he's just there a lot. That was the whole thing, is that everyone thinks it was Uncle Joey and Uncle
Jesse.
Jesse.
Wait,
Right. It's
Dave
Uncle Jesse,
Coulier
but
didn't.
just Joey.
Neither one of them lived at the house. I think one
No,
of
no.
them.
Jesse lived in the
upstairs,
attic
yeah.
with Becky Katsopoulos. That's a little weird too.
Yeah, it's crazy that you're
Yeah.
rattling off this stuff.
And their names, too.
It's crazy.
Becky
Katsopoulos
Katsopoulos.
was a pull.
That's
I'm Becky right now.
Becky, Jesse Katsopoulos. Come on.
I didn't watch this show.
I didn't either.
Oh, you guys are too cool.
I
No,
didn't.
too old.
You're too old. Yeah.
I was.
You're too old too, probably.
Yeah.
We had
45.
the dog walk like draft the other day of like childhood shows, and like I know of all of them, but I don't think I really did.
Well, you had a fucking terrible upbringing.
like.
That's why I love you, baby.
What shows
I've
were you
never heard of
watching growing
these.
up?
Cheers.
Yep.
Wonder Years.
Yep.
I was watching 227. I was watching All in the Family.
Yep.
Yeah, you're old. You're old. as
Watch
fuck.
that shit, dude.
Oh, dude, you
so
couldn't-
funny.
You couldn't. There's
Wonder Years is one of the greatest shows of all time.
Dude.
It's just the sense of
It's very
humor,
real.
the reality of
The
life.
dad was just like a fucking.
Everything was unapologetically
Yep.
fucking dark,
Yep.
dramatic,
I didn't
and
even
funny
realize until I was like older that it was a show from the '80s because they did. What time period was that supposed to be?
It's supposed to be post-Vietnam. The,
Yeah.
the father was an alcoholic
Yes,
coming home
yeah,
from
yeah,
Vietnam.
yeah. It was I mean,
Beating
that
his
show was-
kids.
right. It was like I remember being very afraid of
Yeah.
the dad in that, being like,
Yeah.
Though he had a temper.
yeah, that was real.
Yeah.
Fuck
Well,
yeah.
you
Like
just look at
Kevin
it
and
all the way
Wayne?
through, like, I'd say 70s and 80s. There's nothing better than movies, television. Everything was just
I
so
say this about,
iconic.
like the '80s and '90s.
And then into the 90s, like mid-90s, that's when you fucking fruits came around. They started playing this type of shit. And we lost touch of reality.
I went back and watched old episodes of Taxi.
Taxi ruled. Watch Taxi.
You guys are
Holy-
1,000. Everyone's turning off the podcast.
Taxi, I don't even know if Taxi was in color, dude.
Actually, the only thing in
It was
color
a
was the
talkie. It was
Taxi.
the- yeah.
Charlie Chaplin show was
Danny
fucking
DeVito was
horrendous.
actually 6 feet tall in that show.
Dude, what a legend he is. I mean, he's been doing it for like
Crazy.
eight decades now.
Yeah.
Like,
He still has my favorite answer ever given on the show, where he came on, he was promoting something with his daughter, and
Did he stand up for this mic or did he sit down?
no, he honestly, so it was in the
it
other
was-
studio.
he had trouble.
and it was like we had to boost him up.
we had
help him
like
in the chair.
high chairs,
Yeah.
you know, and we had to like physically put him in the chair.
But I had asked him like about.
Do you have video of that? Because I would just like to watch that.
That might have been at Sirius, actually.
That was at Sirius.
Yeah, at Sirius, we had to like physically put him in the chair.
But I had asked him like,
Did you get on one knee? Come here, little buddy. Come on over here.
I just got down on hands and knees. I got down on all fours and he just stepped on my back. He just crawled up on top.
but I asked him like about the different iterations of and generations of Hollywood he's been through, like. What was his favorite? Like the 60s, the 70s. And he's like explaining all of them. And he's like, the 60s were great because blah, 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 blah. The 70s were great because blah, 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 blah. The 80s, I was snowblown the whole time.
He lost a decade. He was like, I don't remember a decade.
That rules.
That's amazing.
Danny
And that
DeVito.
little body.
And his daughter's like, Dad. He's like, I don't know what to tell you.
He still feels like a dude to me who gets fucked up on the regular.
I can
He's
see
taking
that.
mushrooms
He
for
rules.
sure.
Yeah,
That
Have
guy.
you ever heard
He
the
rules.
story from fucking Charlie Day told the story, and it was a story that Danny had told him, and it was they went to a party. It must have been the 80s, and it was him and Schwarzenegger. So Junior.
We're probably on the twins.
Twins.
Junior.
had come out. So I think that was 90s. But he said him and Schwarzenegger walked into a party, and the party favors at this party were your name spelled out in cocaine.
Yeah.
And Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger is
That's a
a,
long fucking name.
He got so jacked up. He goes, "Look at mine, Danny."
that was a good one actually. That is
That's tough. You walk in with like a Charlie Day, and it's like, well, can I borrow some, Arnold? Can I borrow the half of your name?
let me get the hard R at the end.
Bro, the '80s were. I was, because of the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight, I didn't realize that young people don't understand Iron Mike. Like,
Yeah.
the
No,
guys
no
producing
idea.
the show were like, oh, we know of him, but like they don't know like the stories. And then I started reading up on him. There's shit that I didn't even know that was like when he fought Buster Douglas, he had a full blown case of gonorrhea.
Dude, but
He
you-
was like, I was in Japan. He was like, I was fucking. He said he fucked anything. He was like, my criteria was breathing, and he was like, I was just fucking every Japanese girl I could find, and I didn't train at all, and I had gonorrhea, and he fucking beat my ass.
You listen to Lawrence Taylor talk about
Yeah, he's
the
another
shit
one.
he was doing.
Well, they were together too, though. It was like, you see these pictures sometimes. It was like Keith Hernandez fucking Lawrence Taylor and Mike Tyson at the same party. It's like
that's a lot of
holy
coke.
shit.
That is a lot of coke.
And you know they're like trying to one up each other.
That's
so
all
it's like,
the coke. Add Daryl Strawberry in there.
Right. Doc Good.
Doc,
you were in New York in the '80s. It was a fucking snow blowing the whole time. And then, imagine that crew, and then like Danny DeVito waddles in. He's like, "Hey guys, he's doing it with
Help
them,
me
like,
up on the chair so I can do some coke." He's riding people around.
He's got him on his shoulder like a parrot.
Like one of those the two-headed conjoined twins. He's got him on his little shoulder.
When Tyson was in prison, he fucked and impregnated his like prison counselor. Like he was.
I thought he was going to say his cellmate. I'm like, what was that?
But I think he was like, I had what's it called, conjugal visits like all the time. I was fucking like the prison guards, the counselors. I got her pregnant, like just crazy shit that really.
Well, that's why he's
only one
taking these
person-
fucking fake fights. He's got to pay off all these
Probably,
pigs.
yeah, crazy man.
Did you see the footage of like some of the shots where he's just like about to hit?
That made me a little. I'm not full blown like he threw the fight because I do think he just lost gas, like he didn't have legs. And
That's
I think-
crazy.
But in the beginning,
Dude, he had one.
went, like
he had one
there was
combo.
a couple, and I
he
even
did
noticed
one
it in real
combo,
time.
and they were
Beginning
like,
of the fight.
"Yo,
Yeah.
that's it." And he never attempted it again.
I do. Yeah, there is a little something.
I
fishy
could
there.
understand
But by
running
the
out of
end-
gas the last 2 rounds. He didn't show anything after that one time. The
Yeah.
entire fight.
Yeah. I
What?
turned it off.
What are we
I
doing?
turned it off in like
Yeah.
the sixth. I
What are
think,
we
or
doing?
fifth or sixth.
There was a video running around that was like he hit him with like a combo, and then they
They
linked
locked, and he's
up,
like, "Relax, dude."
and he taps him on the back. I mean, there's no the video was like it's alleged that Jake Paul said in his ear, "Calm down." Like nobody has said that except that fucking video.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson pats him on the back, so it looks like they have an agreement. I don't know about all that, but they're definitely in that first couple rounds. I was like, well, he definitely just did not punch him there when he absolutely could have. I think by the end of it, it was almost the opposite because he was so out of gas. I think Jake Paul.
I was gonna
could
say
beat
I don't
him
know
up.
if I'd agree to a fight where I take a dive where the other guy gets to gloat afterwards about how he could have hurt me but he didn't want to.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like, even-
I'll take the dive, but then don't fucking run up the score.
I
on
think
me.
he had the quote like I didn't want to hurt someone who didn't need to be hurt or something like that. Like if I'm like you're not saying that about me with my blessing.
Right.
Here's the thing, and as the oldest dude here, and obviously not Mike Tyson, but I can tell you 10 years ago when I boxed Jacob, who's obviously not Jake Paul, I could see punches coming.
Yeah.
And my brain was like, get out of the way.
you
And my
couldn't.
face was like, nah.
Yeah.
Let's eat this one. Your body just doesn't
Well,
react
that's why
the way you want to.
60 is like
60's old, dude.
I know it's Mike Tyson and all that shit, but it's like he's
It's
also
old.
been doing drugs and fucking. It's not like he's a sharp 60-year-old. Like,
Yeah.
So there is that side of it, but it was strange. The like dodging punches is one thing, not throwing punches. That's
Yeah.
like your body is programmed to do as a fighter. That was a little weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can understand getting hit.
There was,
Like,
I mean, there was
not
one where he
throwing.
literally like he went to.
I know
and
he went
stopped.
like this.
Yeah,
And he was wide open. That was the shot.
That
Yeah.
could, like obviously this is an apples and oranges. I remember I tell a story like fairly recently now. I was in a batting cage. And I was like, I know my body knows. It was my first taste of being like old. So I'm like, my brain knows what to do.
Yep.
I can do.
Can't do
I'm
it.
doing it all, and I was just following everything right back. And I was
Yes,
like,
but
I
if you
just
do,
can't
if
do
you
it.
just keep going to the cage for a week and a half,
Yeah,
it comes back. You see him training.
Yeah.
Training videos don't make sense to what we watch.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That
but a
one
training
hit,
video
fucking
is
confetti
very
when it came out of his
different.
ass. It was like locked in, and he was like fading this way. It's like, it was there.
That was weird. That was definitely suspect. But I also could see a scenario where it was like, don't end this in the first round.
I agree with that.
Versus throwing the whole fight. You know what I mean? Like oh wait, we got to put on a show. Like I'm gonna bury him.
But let me ask
and
you,
then a
on
couple
the-
rounds later, you're like, oh wait, I am.
In the
fucked.
conspiracy theory part of it, you have to approach him initially with the idea. And what if he's like, fuck no.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and goes, this dude just tried to ask me to throw the fight. Like,
Yeah.
so that's why it's hard for me.
It's got to be like signed.
No,
you know,
it's already-
NDA
yeah,
going
you
in.
give
Yes.
the $20 million back if
Yes,
you
yes.
if you say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
1
that's the
million
only
%.
way.
That's.
But I've also
that's
heard,
like,
I heard that he
you
makes
think
like
100%.
100%. There was a signed document. You're throwing this fucking fight. Don't go too hard on this, and you'll get paid.
But what
then-
Josh is saying is you gotta approach
You
him with
got to
that
approach him
before
to
he
begin
signs
with.
the document.
This is what I'm saying.
So what if he said no?
What if he was like, fuck you, I'm not throwing your fight. And then
And then you blow up your whole
exposes
operation.
They probably
you
sign an NDA before the
before
fucking
the meeting.
Yeah,
Before the
yeah.
meeting, he goes, we're
You
going to
pro- I
talk about
bet
some
it's
shit.
like,
you
I'll
gotta
give
sign
you
the
money
Can't
for this
say anything
meeting.
what happened in this meeting.
But how much money are you giving Mike Tyson
But
I heard
to
he
take
makes,
care of
I
his
heard he
family.
makes
I feel
like
like
$1
Mike
million.
Tyson's down and out.
I heard
No,
he
I don't think
has
so.
a cannabis operation.
Yeah.
that makes like $1 million a
He's
month.
got a successful podcast. Like, Mike Tyson
That's
doesn't
the only
need
problem.
money.
When I heard that, because I thought there is a chance that Mike Tyson.
How much did he
famously
make
know
for this
bought
fight?
Tigers and
$20 million.
Got $20 million.
I mean, because
Which I actually think is a
how many
lot,
kids does he
obviously,
have?
but not as much as I thought it was going to be.
Not for what ensued and how people are talking about him now. Unless he was broke. If you're broke and you need money, fine. But if you have money and now there's all this talk about you either A, being old, or B, throwing a fight. But as we know, you saw interviews with him before. He's like, I don't give a fuck about my legacy.
And he also said, because I guess Holyfield reached out and was like, let's do a trilogy. And he was like, nah.
No way.
You think that's what he said? You ever heard him talk?
Yeah. That's what he
God,
said.
it came out that clean. That's a 30-minute conversation. He got hung up on trilogy for an hour straight.
He was like, let me Google trilogy.
I still can't. I can't stop thinking about like a little dainty Asian girl and fucking a coked out
Mike
Tyson
Tyson
Lawrence,
just-
Lawrence
oh,
Taylor
Lawrence
cracking
Taylor,
that door open, dude.
God damn.
Semi-hard rope dick.
There was a story.
Semi-hard rope ticket.
Oh my God, he's probably trying to get it up. She's like sweating.
He's hitting it on the
He's
table.
all yacked out of his skull.
Clang.
What a frightening man.
Apparently after he,
His earrings dangling. It's the only light in the room, and she's crying already.
Already.
Hasn't even took the tip, dude.
he apparently when he broke up with Robin Givens, she went on a date with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
And he ran into them and was like at the fucking restaurant table, like, I'm gonna kill you. And apparently Brad Pitt was like begging for his life, like, don't, no,
Yeah.
like,
This
please,
is
please,
not
please.
worth it.
He was like, we're just running lines, like we're just working on a show together, like please stop.
He's like, I'll run lines, dude.
All of a sudden they're best friends.
That's an unfortunate situation to find yourself in, but I don't think anyone can fault Brad Pitt.
No,
If you're
not
like,
at all.
Oh, yeah.
What do I
Especially
need to say
in,
to
like,
get out of this?
that- and
prime,
that's just
like-
Either way, 90s, 80s Robin Givens is smoking hot.
Yeah.
So he's like, fuck yeah.
Right.
And then
Who's Robin Givens?
It was just
No, I know,
actress,
but like
It was one of his punching bags for a while.
it didn't
Robin
end well.
Givens,
It didn't end well.
like 80s, 90s Robin Givens is hot.
Yeah, she was
dude.
smoking. She was in.
She was in that full.
I'm not even
some
gonna pretend to
whatever
know.
The fuck. That Robin Givens. Look at her. Come
Our
on.
internet sucks here.
It does.
I'm good. I'm just looking at it. It doesn't
Yeah,
really
they-
matter, but
There she is.
Yeah, she's hot.
I don't know what she was.
She was like
She was like young
Rihanna,
Rihanna.
before Rihanna.
Yeah, that's a good
Really?
call. That's a good call.
She was hot.
Yeah, man, what a fucking time to run though. I mean, you can't get away with like anything now.
It was a good time to be a celebrity. I'm sure.
Yeah, it sucks being a celebrity now compared to that shit. It's like, she really does look like Rihanna. It's a great call.
Yeah.
Like that's what Rihanna's gonna look like. That picture of the blue. That's what Rihanna's gonna look like when she gets older.
Inshallah.
Express is all about creating confidence through easy, modern, everyday outfits for whatever life throws at you. Their holiday collection delivers on that promise and then some. It's all you need. It's all you need. It's all you need. Why am I saying that so weird? It's all you need to help you look and feel your best for everything you've got going on this season, from Friendsgiving to holiday parties to chill nights in. Quality clothes that look good and they feel even better. What kind of clothes am I talking about? Well, of course, I'm talking about the perfect Pima cotton tee. They got tees and polos made from Pima cotton. It is super soft, lightweight, everyday wear. They got hyperstretch jeans, comfortable up for all day and look good to wear out. 1MX shirts, breathable, easy care, made with stretch, best button-downs around. Modern tech suits, you saw us do the episode in those. We looked hot as hell. They are wrinkle-resistant and machine washable, so you can wear them again and again and again and again. And finally, they have 100% merino sweaters. I am a big fan of sweater season. I wear sweaters basically from November to March. They are super soft, breathable, temp-regulating, moisture-wicking, and machine washable. They are luxe without the fuss. Find all you need this holiday season. Every single thing you need. I have searched this website because I have bought suits from it. So they got everything. You can find everything you need this holiday season. Use code SADBOYSEASON, SZN. SADBOYSEASON, SZN. You can even say it to the teller. If you're at the store, they'll ring you up fine too at express.com. How's Stuff Island going?
It's okay.
It's okay.
No, Chris is in
decent.
Philly, so it's like fucking. I'm doing the cooking show on my own. It's a lot of work.
He's in Philly. He lives in Philly?
He's living in Philly till we're done tires.
Oh,
I think I have one more episode with Schultz, but they wrap in like mid-December. And he's on set. I mean, he has to be there.
Yeah. So you're just like
but there was
the
no
wife
preparation.
at home being like, come
Yeah.
on. you fucking-
I was saying that.
And who wants to see a fucking Zoom cast, dude?
Yeah.
no,
Everybody's
yeah.
over
It's
that
the-
shit.
Yeah.
We do it in a way that you can't really tell because he's using a nice camera on location.
You just told everybody.
Oh yeah. You fucking.
No, you know.
Listen,
you
if you're not watching our show because of that, like you can't tell other than the backgrounds are different. It's not like like in Zoom time during quarantine, there was a delay. You had to wait on
Bro,
shit.
we
There's
did
none of that.
We did a Zoom with I think it was Colin Quinn, and he sat like here, and the camera was at the wall over there.
Yeah.
But it was almost like so great. I think that was Colin.
It was
Quinn,
Colin
right?
Quinn, yeah.
It was like this is awesome that he's like I'm a mile away. Like, couldn't hear him, couldn't see him. We did that with Efron and Jeremy Allen White too. We landed them. We were like, oh my god, these like fucking A-listers, and they were so far away from the fucking.
They thought
I was
they
like,
could
can
get
you just,
COVID
like,
through
sit
the Zoom?
next to the
Yeah.
computer, please? Like, come on, man.
Dude,
It was crazy.
Efron was like,
no,
I
it
don't
wasn't
know.
even COVID. That was just like, we're too busy for you. Like, we'll do your show, but we're on set and like, fuck you.
They were like 2
dude.
blocks away.
Yeah, I think they were in New York.
Yeah.
No,
couldn't
Stuff
come, they
Island's
just did.
it's great, but it's
Yeah.
it's just not the same because it's I miss it
Yeah.
in a way because this kind of energy you
don't
can't
get, yeah.
duplicate
Dude,
unless you're in person. The timing, the fucking
Yep.
I remember
totally.
I texting you guys and the stuff in the car. Dude, the trampoline video.
Oh,
I
it's
go
so
back and
good.
watch the trampoline video.
It's so fucking
So
funny.
tell a story, Chris.
people don't believe that he's like that.
Do you
all
know
the
this
time.
story?
No.
O'Connor did he get knocked out or Chevy Chase kicked him out?
He kicked him off his trampoline.
Kicked him off
Dude,
his
I don't know how to get to it.
What he?
I'll just show it
But
to you.
isn't that's from?
Oh, is this it?
That's like from a. Isn't that from a show or something like that?
Wait, pause this. Pause. You gotta see everyone's face. It's this is one.
How
of my
did you
favorite-
do that so fast?
You typed in Stuff Island trampoline, you fucking retard.
Do you have to wait for it to load?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the internet here
this
sucks.
fucking
It's
sucks.
great.
This is
it's
really
like, it's
annoying.
not only this building, but then within this
Chase is
fucking
a real
room, it is
dickbag.
crazy.
Yeah, I met him once.
Yeah?
It's hilarious. You guys are a $1 billion company and can't get fucking Wi-Fi.
It is. But that's actually always been our mantra: is we're an internet company with no internet.
I'm serious. He's like, get off.
What are you talking about?
I went to Chevy Chase's house and I jumped on his trampoline. He kicked me off. This is a real story.
This is not a real story.
It is a real story.
Stop saying it like it's fucking normal. Here's how you start that story. Oh my God, did I ever tell you this story? With excitement, you absolute psychopath.
I'm not that excited, but I got kicked off of Chevy Chase's trampoline.
The way you just drive into
Why? Start why? Tell a story.
Because there was a kid in my biology class who was dating Chevy Chase's daughter. And he invited me and a bunch of my friends over to his house. And then we went on a trampoline, and Chevy Chase came out and he kicked me off the trampoline. I was bouncing too high. He wanted to get on.
What do you mean he wanted to get on?
He wanted to get on the trampoline.
So he made an excuse going, you're jumping too high, and then he jumped by himself?
Yeah.
That's insane. Chevy Chase was like, you're jumping too high, get off. And then took his shoes off and jumped on the trampoline by himself.
Yeah.
Called the cops.
and then it just the way it cuts, brilliant, so good. That's a great clip.
Here's how you start this. Tell a story. It's so fucking funny.
I'm not excited. I'm not
the
excited
story
about
itself is so good, but your anger at his oh
Yeah.
god,
He was so casual about it.
So casual.
And then he jumped on the trampoline.
Yeah.
Chevy,
You should see him talk through like a movie review. It's fucking gut-wrenchingly horrendous. He'll just be like, I saw this movie, and you're like, all right, what's up? This is like on a podcast. You're going to eat 10 minutes, bring some fucking energy, and say what was good about it. You'll get to like 8 minute 8, and he's like, yeah, it sucked. We can't post that. You know what we do here? You know what makes us money? It's not reading the paper, fuckface.
Bro, that's why podcasts.
It's going great. I miss Chris.
There's so many like celebrity podcasts and that kind of shit, and there's value in those because you get like great stories and shit. But that's like a real podcast. You need to have that
Dude,
kind
I
of
said
dynamic
this so many
for a real
times.
podcast.
It's like people ask, like, I want to start a podcast, or like, I got friends and friends of friends that like, how do I get going? I think the key to a good podcast is having a partner that is so different than you, whether it's the way you think, your sense of humor. You have to have some contrast, right?
Yeah.
Some conflict. It's just like in writing comedy, like the conflict is story.
Yeah, like a
without
little tension,
conflict,
a
there's no
little-
story.
yeah.
So if you don't have a natural conflicting co-host, you can't fucking ping pong each other's opinions and go, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, right,
There's
right,
nothing
right.
It's
interesting
also
there.
the relationship. Yeah, I think a relationship is important too.
Being able to be like, shut the fuck
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
you fucking
yeah,
idiot.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just- You have to,
100%.
you know,
It-
because and that's what you lack, I think, when some of these like. Either you're paired with a celebrity or someone you don't know as well or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you're gonna be able to tell like behind the scenes stories, and there is value in that. But
Yeah, that's why I don't
That's why-
understand
like,
like
podcast.
lady podcasts. Why are they so successful?
Lady podcast?
Her lady podcast is Stuff Island.
Yeah, I know you do. Thank you. Remember the one time I made fun of a girl at Barstool? You thought it was you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it?
What?
It wasn't.
I mean, what was it? You said, oh, yeah, you said it. Somebody's stories. And it was like my exact story that I had posted.
Yeah, but it wasn't you.
But it was.
I think it's just a thing you guys do here together. Did I get out of that?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, yeah, you nailed that.
It is funny
Real
having-
convincing too.
I stick the landing?
Yeah, but it wasn't you. It was just somebody else.
I'm not gonna tell you who it was, but it was just somebody else, not you.
Yeah, I'm not going to be specific at all.
Jack, listen to like lady podcasts. Jackie will come in talking about Stuff Island, Matt and Chains, and Are You Garbage?
Let's go.
No. I do listen to lady podcasts, but then every now and then I like didn't realize I was just like, because sometimes I just will listen when I get a chance to listen, like when I've had all my lady podcasts, and then I didn't realize I was like this super fan, but now I realize I've watched like every single one for the past year, so I guess I'm like accidentally a giant super fan of Stuff Island.
What are the lady podcasts?
Accidental super fan is
What?
unbelievable.
What are
Get
the,
you a shirt.
what are the lady
I
podcasts?
love one. Like,
dude,
I'm a super fan. I'm telling you.
Let's go.
I like the Toast.
No,
I listen
never
to
heard of
that.
it.
What's that?
Giggly Squad.
Oh yeah, yeah, I
you know,
know
that's Hannah
Giggly
Burner
Squad.
and, and Paige DeSorbo. Yeah, that's a big one. The girls love that one.
Yeah.
I feel like Paige DeSorbo is like the.
You listen to a lot of goddamn podcasts, huh?
I know. I don't know.
That is crazy.
Are you supposed to be working on one? Stop listening to him. And fucking.
I think I've listened to 1 hour of podcasts ever.
I think Serial season 1 is the only thing I ever listened to.
Yeah, and it was Francis Ellis.
Really?
I got drunk. I missed him, and I
That's-
wanted to see how
that's
the episode
fucking
was
gay.
doing, and it started, and I watched the whole thing. It was the only time I ever watched the.
Wait, is this Stuff Island or just Fran's on a different
any
pod?
podcast? I've never watched the podcast.
No, but what was Francis on?
It's Stuff Island.
Yeah.
You
Oh, you
watched
watch your own
episode.
podcast.
I watch my own podcast for
Got
1
it.
hour.
And that's the only time you listen to podcasts.
It's the only time.
You
I've
know
ever
what is
listened.
funny though? I didn't
it's
listen.
gay. Francis is gay. I'm gay for Francis.
Yeah.
Hey, we're up to pool now.
He's teaching him how to shoot.
In behind him. Yeah.
I didn't listen to podcasts for a long time, and then when I did, though, I think I got better at it because I was like things that people would say about me, and I was like, fuck it, that's just how I talk. But then I was listening, it's like, oh, that you are interrupting too much, or you are like talking over people, or you are telling the stories too long, or whatever. And it's like, oh, once you listen to it, it's kind of like I'd imagine, going through your own comedy and like making sure. You're getting better at it.
Yeah, I don't do that either.
No, for sure. He definitely doesn't do that.
Dude,
I
I'll
listen to
record
my
a
own
set.
shit.
I'll
I could never
record a
listen to that.
set.
But listening to other people and be like, oh, that bothers me, or
No.
that is better, or whatever. I could never
Absolutely
listen to
not.
my own.
What do you say? You record a set?
Yeah, if I record a set, I'm like, that fucking ruled. Like, that's the best I've done in a while.
Have you ever gone back and listened to it?
No.
Nah.
I wake up the next day, I'm like, delete. I can't imagine listening to my own voice.
It just doesn't sound. I mean, it's not something new, but like, it doesn't sound how it's supposed to sound.
Yeah.
I hear
weird.
myself. I'm like, that's not how I talk.
And I should be doing, because I'm working on this bit that's like 10 minutes, 11 minutes, and I'm doing it differently every time in little, like a microcosm of the joke. Like
Yeah.
a little area will be different. I'll record it like, you got to keep that.
Dude,
All you got to do is listen to it for fucking 10 minutes,
Yep.
and you can document that
And you
that
don't do
way,
it.
and then you move on to something else. You got to keep that. I have 10 recordings of this one joke. I
Dude,
can't
you
listen to it.
absolutely have to listen to your set. You absolutely
I
have to.
started the conversation saying you have to do that.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think that's the switch of like. That's when, because like
That's
when
when
you
it's
do
a craft.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
it's,
yeah.
It's
Like
going from
it's-
I'm having fun to I'm doing work.
Right. It is a job. I need to get better. I will make more money. I will be more successsul. So fucking man up and do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not, I'm
do
not
it the
saying
hard
I do
way.
it.
80s and cocaine.
Not a coward. I don't need to study for tests. Or
Yeah.
anything. I'll fucking just rip it, baby.
Well, it's nice to always have the little like safety blanket of like I'm not even trying. You know what I mean? You can't fail until you start trying hard.
That's not true.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I wish. I wish it was like that.
I kind of obsessively listen.
Yeah.
When I'm working on especially a long story where so much depends sometimes on those tiny little
word,
parts.
yeah.
dude.
1 minute, 2 minutes here.
Yeah. Yep. Look at him. He's like, yep.
I gotta get out of here, guys. On my birthday,
I'm
I
going
just
to
go
get
home
drunk right now.
My girl's like, we have dinner plans. I'm just listening to my own sets. Like, no, I gotta. Josh told me I have to do this. I gotta be better.
So are you like going out in Austin? Are you like becoming an Austinite or whatever the fuck they would call it?
I'm doing more stand up than I've ever done in my life.
Stand-up,
Yeah, I took
no,
6 years
but I mean,
off.
like, are you like? I don't know. I just hear so much about the city, and I'm like, I think all you guys are just doing comedy. I haven't heard anything
No,
about the actual
we go out.
city.
There's like a bunch of nice restaurants we like to go. It's like the perfect amount of energy. Like my life is balanced. Hers is not.
He's fully drank the Austin.
No,
too.
hold on.
You were the last bastion. You were the last like holding the line, and now you're one of these Austin.
You didn't let me finish.
cult
This is like the old Kevin. Stepping on my fucking words.
Go listen to some more podcasts.
Yeah, dude. My energy balance of like doing shows down on 6th Street because it's like nuts down there.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting your sets in, but we live like 20 minutes out in South where it's like quiet as hell. So I feel content. You know what I mean? I'm satiated with the energy levels there. She's like not. She's a cat in a car at this point. And she's like, I gotta we gotta move closer to the city.
Right.
It's just it's definitely not this. I miss New York. I came here and I was like, fuck, this rules. I saw a fire live.
Saw a fire live?
Yeah, yesterday. One of the
buildings
something
on
was
fire.
on fire.
Yeah, it's awesome. Sometimes shit's just burning.
Fire.
This
This is the best. Building was on fire.
Dude, I hugged
when
like
I was
this.
when I was walking here today, my hat was up like this. And this is how I know it was in the city. A homeless guy tried to push it down for me. I was like, okay, dude.
I like that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't need you. He was like, your hat's up. I'm like, cool.
There's a
Dude,
guy.
we owe Eric Adams an apology. Like everyone made fun of his 9/11 comment. Tommy's like, New York's the best. You go in,
You might
the
catch a
building could be on fire. Like,
I also have a 10-minute 9/11 bit.
Hey, ask Chris Stefano. It could work, baby. 9/11 can take you places.
No,
man.
it works.
There's a homeless guy who he lays like directly in the middle of the sidewalk right around here.
The camera just beat off.
Yeah.
I never noticed how tiny your feet were, though, dude. Look at those little buddies.
9.5.
Oh,
Yeah,
bud.
look at that-
Just go up to 10 instead of telling people 10.
Yeah, that's
Just walk uncomfortably to
No,
appease you fucking
no.
morons.
I mean, tell people 10. You're
Why?
at 9.5.
nobody's
I'm 5'10"
believing.
and a half.
Nobody's believing 10. Look at that little. That's Danny DeVito's foot right there. Are you fucking kidding?
Dude, I had
That's
a
an
buddy.
average sized foot. Are we on? Of course you got the cameras running for this. It's a normal sized fucking foot.
Nah,
It's not. It's
No,
not.
no.
You gotta have a 10.
yeah.
You're not wrong. It's like saying like 5'7's average. It's like, yeah, but you're short. You know what I mean?
I'm 5'10 and a half.
You are not 5'10 and a half.
Pussy stand up.
Pussies stand up. You're wearing your boots with heels.
I'll take them off. Okay. What if I took them off right now?
Lifts it up.
An inch
You'll
of
do
toilet
labor.
paper.
I'll tell
It's
you.
really a 7.
5'10 and a half.
I'm taller than you.
You are not fucking
I mean,
taller
stand
than
up,
that.
boys. You both got shoes on, so it's not exactly. Go back to back.
Tommy's bigger.
That's wearing boots.
Yeah.
Your yarmulke off.
You guys were about as even as I've ever seen it back to back,
5'10
but you
and a
had
half.
boots on.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, and you
And
got
look
those,
at-
and you got nothing with those. Isn't it fucking insane that people used to play basketball, like professional athletes would play basketball in
those?
Jordan
Yeah.
1s? Like they are fucking. It's like you're running on like paper on the bottom.
But
It's
they're
crazy.
they're playing in low tops now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Kobe started that. It's like these are soccer shoes. You guys are gonna fucking twist your ankles.
Yeah.
Now we say bye?
Oh,
We did all that for that?
by the way, how brutal was it losing to the Mets?
Oh, I mean, fuck you, man. What a waste of a season.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
We came out so hot. I was like,
could-
this isn't good.
Yeah,
I don't
they
want
were
that.
really
you don't
good.
want to be. You don't be that good that early.
They were on
You
pace for
remember
like 110 wins.
Yeah.
I texted you. I'm like, what would you rather see? The Eagles or the Phillies win?
Eagles all day. Every
Yeah,
time.
you're a football guy. I'm the opposite of that. Like the fact. Like
Well, it
the,
makes sense
the,
for you
The
guys.
Jets being so bad right now. Like I'm still
Right
riding.
now?
I don't know,
Mets.
dude. That's the Jets and the Mets.
No.
That's
I'm
a
just
battle
saying,
of the
right
tallest
now because
midget.
the Mets just won. Like I'm
Yeah.
okay. Like this season's not bothering me because I'm still riding high. Like the Mets overachieved like we never imagined. So I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean?
You know, it's a loser mentality to be happy with an okay season.
Yeah, I like that.
Look at the Boston guys. Like, I'm not happy with
It's a
that.
binary season,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. He's like, I'm happy we just succeeded
it
a little
was.
bit.
It was for you guys.
Imagine if there was a Patriots season where it was like, well, we made the AFC championship.
Nah. Nah, look at him. He's like, yeah, we.
That is. When you've been beaten so bad. At least we were, I don't know, having fun out there.
Yeah, we won 2 in a row.
Fuck you guys.
What do you think about Salah?
Salah?
Yeah.
I
The
think
Muslim
you say
man.
his name like a fucking moron. Yeah,
You miss him, or
I mean,
you think
he was not good, but he got fucked.
Why you
too.
keep asking questions if you wanted to leave?
Huh?
You wanted to leave so bad, but you
Yeah.
keep asking him questions.
Well, it's a trick in podcasting. You're trying to find the out.
I gave you the out.
And you're real slow right now. I was hoping he'd say something racist. We go, fuck that Muslim guy. We're not.
That's why you're like, I'm going to say the name like this. Yeah.
See, and there it is.
Nailed it.
Dr. Landing.
All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Click that button.
Or I'll cut off my finger.